Welcome everyone. It's 12 o'clock on the dot. What a perfect place to start. The eclipse is already going on. It's going to peak around 1:23 on the East Coast. So perfect. We'll be doing this read throughout the whole eclipse. And I have lots of messages to bring you. They will include from May 2nd through to the 4th. And I just pulled a few cards too, just to get some energy. So I wanted to bring you that too. And I'll pull you some fresh cards as well. Let's go ahead first and where's my doll? Let's take a few deep breaths. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's really nice, warm, and sunny here today. Sending lots of blessings and love out to you guys. There definitely is some stress with the full moon today. And we're going to get right into it because I have a bunch of messages for you. Let's roll the die. Let's put these out of the way first. All right, so for the twin flames, May 5th, 2023. And we have the energy of the star today, along with the 5, which is the Hierophant. Change, freedom, excitement, traditional society, guidance, commitments for the twin flames. Okay, we have Cancer here, the 69 as well. Let's leave that there on the 2 of Cups. We have the number 5 for today. Again, that energy of freedom, expansion, and change. And the Hierophant, which is also Taurus. So we have Cancer and Taurus, and then the moon here. So Cancer coming up again. So a lot of moon energy today with the eclipse. And change with the 5 in the middle. All right, Cancer and Taurus. And Cancer's cardinal, Taurus is fixed. So we have cardinal and fixed. And a cardinal, I took some pictures on my Instagram of a cardinal that landed on my wire the other day. Really cute pictures. But check out my Instagram pics for messages, because all of my cloud pics and bird pics are all messages. And they may apply to some of you and some not. So, go ahead and check them out. There's some really beautiful pictures too. All right, so with this moon energy, double Cancer. Okay, so I don't normally talk about the royal family at all. I don't know that much personally about the royal family, but definitely messages were coming up about the royal family. And actually, in one of these reads, William's son George comes up, and I was getting as far as leadership. Also, there's double Cancer energy here, and I forget which one it is. I think it's William is double Cancer. His son is actually Cancer, not Gemini, and I think his moon is also Cancer, and then maybe Saggy rising, I forget, but something like that. But then also George is coming up, and he was coming up like George of the jungle. So we'll get to that when we get to that. And but there's other information about the family coming in. So, and that was the specific messages. But there's there's a bunch of messages to bring you. So we're starting on the 2nd. This first one, is here. All right, so we have the Lover's Oracle at the top, and then we have the Fortune's Oracle, the Past Life deck, that's Brian Weiss, and then my half deck of Rider-Waite, which is just the characters. Okay. So, and I'll give you the card I just pulled from the Heart deck as well. Okay, so those of you not familiar, the left is the underlying energies. I usually pull out 3 cards, and you can see here it wanted to come out as 4 cards. And then the end are usually extra cards that want to come out, and I use them numerologically as well as in the read. Oh, I was just getting the E-Tower too. I was looking over and I have my nephew's letters that I keep forgetting to take back to their house because they put them in my purse last year when I was at the birthday party. But this is the top of the tower, you know, what's the word? Not the magician, but the, what this is called. But anyway, the top of the E-Tower, which is why I call it the E-Tower, right? Which this is actually built to protect the tower, right? You can put men behind those posts here to protect from atop the tower. But that's coming up as I was just looking right at it in that position. The Merlin, I'm sorry, I couldn't remember the word. For those of you that don't know me, I was hit by a car in 2016 when I was jogging, and I did have a really bad concussion. So my recall, if not related to age, and other things, is also related to my injury there. It's never been quite the same since I had that accident, but otherwise I'm fine. But I'm just letting you know, so maybe you can be a little bit more patient with me when I can't remember words. So this first one on May 2nd, what was posted on the page of May 1st, but it wasn't, it was on the 2nd. It's just usually I start a new page when I start a new day, but I didn't here for whatever reason because it was coming in from the night before, which was actually 5/2, but I titled it 5/1. I'm not sure, that might mean something to someone. And I was also at the top of the page, I had noted something because I was watching, who was talking about it? I don't know if it was on Michael Sala's channel. I can't remember, but they were talking about the portals in Hawaii, and the souls entering on the east side and exiting on the west side of Kauai. And for some reason I need to bring that up as well. And there's something else somebody said too about the 2 sides of the same coin, which was really interesting since we talk about the 2 sides of the same coin all the time. And they referenced it as the gift on one side and what it costs you on the other side. Very interesting. And again, reiterating what I ended up with on the last message was, now I've got a brand new pair of roller skates and you've got a brand new key. And some of you may have literally gotten new keys recently. I know I have, and actually I think Amanda Ellis said she had as well. But spiritual happiness was coming up there. And I'd said perhaps suddenly a tree comes down too. So that may mean someone is having a tree. By the way, when I started this video, right when I was about to start, my next door neighbors started mowing their lawns. I had to close the door. But again, the eclipse energies today. But again, someone might be taking a tree down or just something coming down that makes a lot of noise. This could be an accidental tree coming down as well as a family tree coming down. That's coming down suddenly. So we start this read with the Lover's deck. So I'm going to show you what I just pulled right before I started the video. So this card came out as your card. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light, which came out before as well. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. And the bottom of the deck, or underlying energy, is life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. All right, so there's your loving message there. And this was really cool. I had to get my hands on my my tea leaves because I hadn't pulled them at all the past few days in any of those reads, I don't think. And so I was just so ripe to pull them out and pull some cards this morning, right before the message. And the bottom of the deck here on half the deck was the carrot. So there's some kind of carrot dangling or opportunity or windfall in the underlying energy. And then these 5 cards came out, and being the 5th today, and the ear came out in my cloud picks as well. So this is very significant about good news, right? So keep your ears open. There's a carrot being dangled. The fox of shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business, right? Somebody might be whispering in your ear, or perhaps listening to see if you're listening. And then the mule, so this could be Taurus energy as well, and the fox always comes up as Sagittarius. So it could be a Saggy, Taurus energy who's listening, and there's the donkey pulling as well. Someone's extremely stubborn and unwilling to change, but there's luck here and great fortune. And then the bottom, the last card rather, was the desk. Pay attention to your work. And again, there's 2 feathers here, and the 2 feathers in your cap energy comes up with the masculine usually. So again, pay attention to this carrot being dangled. There may be more messages to come. And remember, I'm getting now the stubbornness of the mule isn't always a bad thing, right? Because they don't give up. I'm just getting the picture of me on the Grand Canyon because I did the mule trip on the Grand Canyon many, many years ago in my 20s. And actually the way back up the Grand Canyon is a shorter trip for the mules than going down, which is a harder trip, right? They have to work harder climbing uphill. So I'm getting that energy of, the persistence that they never give up. So there's great good fortune, and then the desk of pay attention to your work. So that was the first deck, and then also these came out as well. The dog and the close-up here, and you see how they had their hair all done up. Pleasure with a close friend, and that can be your dog. But then there's a younger man here. Again, that could still be your dog, but it could also be somebody else, a human and a dog, or both human energies. Maybe this is describing this younger man, dealings or relationship with a younger man here. Perhaps he wears his hair up, or perhaps not. But this energy of the hills and obstacles to overcome regarding the dog, the younger man, or both. Or perhaps taking a walk in the mountains or the hills, and then there's very spiritual love here. So is this a man and his dog? Is this a woman and their dog? And I'm getting the hills are alive with the sound of music. Oh, that's so funny. And I was singing with Teddy yesterday, which I haven't done in a little while. I get in like musical moods where I'll write music and I'll play a lot for a few months, and then I may go all year and not wanting to play at all. And I haven't played in months, really. And I felt like playing yesterday, and Teddy squeaks his toy when I sing, so it's really cute to play with him. But there's that energy coming up. So the other half of the deck, again, the table comes up. And remember the last card over here was the desk. So the underlying energy, again, this is like the cliffhanger, the continuation. Hard work ahead. And what was under that? The well is underneath that. So family wishes come true, well wishes and diving deep, and bringing it all to the table. But there may be some hard work ahead in that. And with that underlying energy came up 3 sets of cards. The first had to do with the sunrise in October and a tower event with the crown, which feels really positive. All right, new creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. October, and again, the fall leaves with the tower, a solid foundation and success with effort. Honor and respect will come to you. Okay, so this is really beautiful. And again, this is kind of represents summer and then the fall. And then this tower event in October regarding the crown and getting some kind of honoring. But also what was coming up is July 5th, which keeps coming up, the day after July 4th, of course, and then Victory Day or V-Day, but this also represents the ram as we go into Aries North Node on the 18th of July. But there's something significant about the 5th. But this also can represent July, the whole month, and the creation during that month is a really headstrong month to get things started. Victory and some endeavor with the sun in July. This is beautiful energies too with the rainbow colors. I like that too with the dots. I don't know if there's some kind of design someone's working, whether it's drawing or fashion or illustration, whatever it may be, and then the carriage comes up, which can represent the chariot energy, a journey either physical or mental, all right, in this big change into Aries here in July. Okay, so that definitely can represent the journey of Aries and Libra on the north and south nodes. And then this group came out, the cat, the two-faced friend, and the bull. So there's that Taurus energy coming up again. And notice we have cats and dogs here. But I'm getting the energy of between July and October, and the cat and bull, perhaps a masculine bull, who's got plenty by then, as well as a crib situated. So whether that's have a new home or a new baby, whatever the situation may be, but there's plenty of material things and birth or conception of a child or enterprise. And again, urging you not to back down from the opposition. Show strength and fortitude, especially if someone's being two-faced here. All right, so those are the messages that came up that I just pulled before. And now let's get into that first read. So again, this was on 5-2. 5 is the Hierophant, 2 is the High Priestess, which are both have religious or spiritual connotations. And remember, the lily was spiritual love. Okay, with the hills are alive. So the sound of music and the flowers in the spring and taking a walk with the dog or the cat. And again, the two-faced friend. And again, a two-faced friend could be you and your twin, right? Because you're the same person with two faces. So this started at 12:12 on the 2nd. So wisdom, but also the Hanging Man, seeing new perspectives, hanging out, being still, seeing another way, being wise, and the Lovers deck. And then 12, 13, 14, and then 16, which is transition, the 14 to a higher love, and the 16 of the Tower energy again, which I think that was, yesterday was the Tower, is that right? Yeah, because today's the Star. So there might have been some kind of sudden event for you yesterday, or sudden epiphany, or sudden sexual energies that may have come through last night, especially with this eclipse energy, pulling up the energies. You may have connected with your twin in a sexual way. The cards at the end of these 4 decks was 0 at the end and then 111. So you can look that up in gematria if you'd like to. Did I look it up? And so we had 0111 and 0118. The energy of the specific words that came up under 0111 was good, cocaine, ram. So ram's coming up constantly, referencing, get ready for the ram to come into the north node. Mar, M-A-R, which is also the sea, the ocean. Kodak, black, and Akasha. And then the 0118 was death, amber, Isaiah, Logan, clone, Claire. Oh, that's so weird. And Rachel. I said Claire. Oh, I woke up. I just remembered. I don't know if it was this morning or last night. I woke up and yelled. And I think I said Claire. I'm trying to remember why I was yelling. I have to remember that visual. But right after I yelled, I realized I didn't need to do that. But I was warning somebody of something. Oh, that's so weird, Claire. And I've known of maybe a couple Claires in my whole life, but I'm not in connection with any Claires right now. So that may be a specific message for someone. Perhaps to warn Claire. I'm getting all clear too, like somebody's heart getting shocked. At 12:24, and there's co-creation here too. Co-creation, justice, and the dance. Alignment in the dance of strength, inner strength, outer strength, manifesting your dreams. At 12:24, and there's that Aries energy too of sudden spurting forward. The 12:24 of the Hanging Man and the Queen of Wands. Again, the 24 is the 24th pair of chromosomes that are not seen in the etheric realms. The 12 of the Hanging Man again. And also the 12 is the 1 and the 2 of the masculine and the feminine. The 2 and the 4 is the High Priestess and the Emperor. And the underlying energy of forgiveness and imagine Use your imagination. And again, of course, I'm getting the song, John and Yoko. I think Yoko actually wrote the words. I think she was quoted as saying that she feels the whole reason she incarnated now is to have written the lyrics to that song, Imagine. Romance, a blessing, Spirit's connecting with me. Romance is making me want to cry. Romance, a blessing soon revealed, and you'll be surprised who else made me cry. Romance, a blessing soon revealed, no right or wrong of the heart, but there is what's left. Transformation and love conquers all. With the chariot, the angel, abundance and proposal, which is 6, 2, 1, and 27. The lovers, divine feminine and divine masculine, proposal aflame. Cinderella's chariot, angel with wings, lucky times ahead, opportunity knocks. At 12:29, the hanging man and the 3 of wands, which is being present in the moment. And by the way, in numerology, Amanda Ellis was talking about the coronation and stuff, and she was talking about the birthday of Charles and William are both 29, but in the Divine Triangle numerology book, based on Edgar Cayce and Pythagoras, of course, it's based on the Pythagorean theorem, the numbers would actually be 47 for both of them, which is the 7 of cups, which both fit them very well. So both would apply. But 29 is the 3 of wands, and usually people say it's the ship waiting for their ship to come in. It has to do with 3 coming together and creation, but it's also for me in the twin flame journey being present in the moment, being very present to what's here right now. The underlying energy of, or rather at 12:39, we switch to the first card, which is the Hanging Man and the Knight of Cups, where the first card is 10 of fire, 11 of flowers, and for me, Justice, the Wheel and Justice are both Libra energies. So a lot of Libra, Venus energies with fire and flowers. And the 22 of the mountain, so the mountain comes up again. The hills are alive with the sound of music. And again, there's that passion of the heart with the flowers. And the mountain of the 22, which remember the 22 is the Fool with an open heart taking a leap of faith, but I also call it the 5D station where you can leap off in any direction you want after that. And the flowers is also those who flow at the 11, which for me is instant manifestation of the 60, and then the 25 of the Knight of Wands and the Phoenix rising. The 31 is the card afterward, which is the Thorns, and again that crown of thorns has been coming up nonstop lately. Destined to embrace the new, to be generous and know you are safe. Be cautious though. And again, that's not about fear. It's about not being foolish, right? Don't just randomly jump in because you just want to jump in, but follow your knowing. At 12:55, the Hanging Man and the Truth, the Ace of Swords, a renewal after a crisis, like calling you to come right back to the center after a crisis. Weathering will bring a positive future. And we've had a lot of rain this week, but it's been very soft rain, not hard rain. And the Queen's Gambit, I actually watched that. I didn't realize when I brought up the Queen's Gambit, when I first got the message, I had no idea what the Queen's Gambit was, and then I saw that it was on Netflix. So I actually watched it, the whole series, and I actually liked it a lot. And that message will come up soon as well in these messages. So the Queen's Gambit and raining, it was raining in the show as weathering came up. Destined to justice at the station, the Fool's Leap and the Faith. One she played long ago. He's on his way to the Phoenix Hotel. So you see how sometimes the movies, I'm telling you, every day when I do reads in the morning, I'll watch a movie that night and the messages will apply to the movie exactly. And this is not just happening occasionally, it's happening like every day. So when I talked about King George, not only was George, as in William's son, coming up, but then I opened the new Netflix series that just came up, the new Bridgerton series, and it's all about King George, all right? So there's constantly this going on. Fire of the flowers on the mountain with the Knight of Wands Phoenix rising to the Thorn of Crowns, being at the top, the crown of thorns. It's not so good to be king. And that's a reference to, what's his name? You know, the blonde rock and roll singer. You guys know who it is. It's good to be king. But it's not so good to be king. So at 102, the underlying energy of vows, Egypt, galactic and virtuous hooded ladies, the pyramids raised to the queen's gambit, an opener, a leg up, tripping on purpose, a sacrifice to gain, a risky move, her quarters, the queen's chambers, and in the pyramids, the queen's chambers are 11 cubits, aligning her cues, perhaps her P's and Q's, at 111 of the masculine and alignment, or the magician and justice, and the E.T. gypsy of galactic, which is the gal act of the inner child's informed consent. So it also came up in the cards here, literally lined up as egg, a la CTIC, or all act of the inner child, like al dente is coming up as all act of the inner child, or the informed consent, which is so important. Don't give your consent away frivolously. 2 points of the pyramid, 2 serious mother, always a triangle, any angle, a new perspective, perhaps. At 112, the picture of the winter triangle was coming up. So for those of you not familiar, as the triangle was just coming up in the message, try any angle on the Sirius mother. Sirius is the bottom of the triangle, what it is right now. I'm not sure how much it actually turns. But that's also Betelgeuse and Procyon, or Procyon, however you might pronounce it. And they resonate as red, white, and blue colors. But I was looking at the way the stars appeared on the galactic card, which was bringing up the winter triangle. And then the scribing by candlelight and seal, unrequited love of Atlantis, now at the bottom of the sea. So you know that they found stuff from Atlantis at the bottom of the sea, but it was very pronounced, the pillars at the bottom of the sea with the dolphin pair swimming around, these ancient pillars from Atlantis. Imprisonment, slavery, and always a portal, or in other words, a way out and in. Male, female, sitting back to back. There may be a way out. Can you get your way? There may be a way out. B, can you get your way? Inside out, outside in. By folding, you win before they win. So, and again, that's that energy of pulling out before they beat you or before they hurt you, kind of energy. But again, we're talking about playing chess, but also gambling as well. There may be a way out. And I don't know if this is what I meant to write, but I wrote B, can you get your way? Inside out, outside in. And again, we talk about by folding. Again, it's like the rose collapsing within itself. By folding in within yourself, you win before they win without. Giving up your queen, conceding defeat. For what is the king without her flexibility in a roundabout kind of way? The queen's chamber is the ember of cha-cha-cha, dancing in the dark, ducks all in a row. Where do you think line dancing came from? At 122. And there's that jump off point of the 5D station. Only a martyr would wear a thorny crown, placing bets on others' faith or lack of thereof. But a mother would sacrifice, sacred act or rites of passage, unexpected defeat, to allow a loss. So an extension of you, your children, will go on, twin. But what I wrote was, will go on and win. So to the mother, as opposed to martyring, The mother will sacrifice, which we see as a very negative term, but honestly, it doesn't mean something negative. It means something that's sacred, right? Who feels sacrifice in a negative way when they're doing something loving for their child, which may result in you not doing something you wanted to do, right? No big deal most of the time, right? Because it's your child. To allow a loss, so an extension of you, or in other words, your child, will go on and win, but it also comes will go on twins. To be a better version of you, your two faces, yours and theirs, whether it's your children or your twin. The sacred fig tree, a bold display to cover up a weakness. Right now, all of a sudden, being shy of your body after having eaten the apple. My beloved, forgiveness and proposal of galactic proportion with the Knight of Cups here. After the Page of Wands is excited to set them free, but they could be defensive, defending their territory, standing their ground, free from suffering in silence, or a sister perhaps, but how long will it last before the Knight of Swords charges and bites, and the Knight of Pentacles offers their services to the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the High Priestess, or the Sister Act, temptation, and how? As the Page of Swords, Gemini, or message from lover, the Empress given a choice to connect with the Six of Cups, loving children, and justice. Regularly, this could be religiously as well. And you could be dealing with kids in court. And that could be a lot of different issues, right? You could be fighting for your kids in court. You could be fighting a child in court who did something wrong. Or the child could be fighting for their own sovereignty. As the Page of Pentacles, invite or opportunity, or to study with the Emperor and the King of Wands, while the King of Cups may offer love, or goes with the Knight of Cups to see the Page of Cups. So they may be doing something different than the other men. The Queen of Swords may be talking about travel with the Dark Knight, or to transition, with Cancer and Scorpio here, which came up a lot here, and also multiple times the King and Queen of Cups have been coming up, dealing with each other, as well as the King of Cups and the Page of Cups. So there might be a father-child thing going on, as well as couples, but they all come up as the Cups energy. And Cancer and Scorpio keep coming up together as well. Perhaps kids with their own lawyer, or the Knight of Wands rushing back to meet. April 27th was coming up. 23 was South Korean president sings American Pie at the state dinner. So right when Knight of Wands rushing back to meet, I was getting American Pie. And so I looked it up, and it brought up the South Korean president singing American Pie at the state dinner on April 27th, which was actually pretty cute, I have to admit. But February made me shiver, and now for 10 years we've been on our own. And moss grows fat on a rolling stone. And while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom adjourned, no verdict returned. This'll be the day that I die. And then I was getting back helter-skelter as well. Birds flew off without a fallout shelter in helter-skelter. When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top, right? When I get to the bottom, I go to the top of the slide, then I get to the top, and I go for a ride, and back to the top to see you again. Oh, I'm trying to remember the words, but that's coming up. The birds flew off without a fallout shelter in helter-skelter, 8 miles high and fallen fast, ending up the jester on the whispering bench in a cast. Or we all got up to dance, but players interfered, and the band refused to yield. Do you recall what was revealed? A generation lost in space, and Jack is nimble and quick with a beanstalk and a stick of dynamite, and of course that's Jimmy, with twin towering flames, walking into that good night at 1:58, the Divine Masculine Magician and the Four of Swords of the 5D connection. The bluesy girl turned away, and the music was no more. Children screamed, but not for ice cream. And a word, quote unquote, was no longer a term. No bells or angels' wings. as there's always been a triangle in heaven on earth, the absentee father, gaslighting son, and the wise one with the invisibility cap, holy as it may be, caught the grail, God's rail for the coasting in, the day the spheres collide, and asking for more, one became 4 and 5, and the night became morn, the music reborn, the day the music died at 2:13. Okay, so really cool energies coming through here with the High Priestess and the transition here. And for those of you who don't normally follow me, the 4 and 5 refers to those that come in simultaneously, because the 1, 2, 3, 4 is the collectively 5. 5 is not a separate, like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the collective of the 1, 2, 3, 4. So they actually come in together. And this comes up with 8 and 9 in my 6, 9, 8 pod, as well as comes up with 12 and 13, right? The end of the cycle going into the next. So a proposal to Lady Liberty to ascend through dark night, to learn to play the Queen's Gambit. Not a race at all, but a strategic play for rights. The Magician, the King of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles with the King of Swords, all satisfied with the Hermit's advice, as the Queen of Cups looks down at the cup that the Knight of Cups, he, has given her, with so much more meaning than he had even intended it to be, with Virgo and Gemini as the Sovereign and 9 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups, both with their kings here, the Knight of Cups by day and dark night by eve, until the Knight of Wands turns on them, folding in upon themselves to light of fire again at 2:20, the Divine Feminine and the Judgment, the wake-up call. So at 5/2/2023, right at 11 a.m. on the dot, the alignment, a helicopter flew over, and the galactic night of the Knight of Cups love letter rejected in the sinking of Atlantis and sent inside forever, the Queen of Swords never seeing no one nice again like you, a death sentence, back to back, 2 with the thorny crown. And again, the back-to-backs referencing the constant connection without being able to see each other. 2 with the thorny crown, tied back to back on the railroad track at 11:03 of alignment and Mother Nature with space between, unable to look at each other. The King and Queen go back to the green, but can never go back there again. Out of the gate, going back, the Knight of Wands and the Magician, with both of their wands up, and on your marks, as the King of Pentacles is the 9 of Pentacles sovereign, and the King of Swords is the 9 of Cups sovereign, mastering practical manifestation and emotional happiness within themselves, bordered by the Magician and the Hermit, Virgo or Gemini and Virgo Mercurial bookends, and the Knight of Wands back to save the day as the Queen of Cups prays into her magical cup. We have fire here, so Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and Virgo, or Sagittarius, Gemini, Earth, and Virgo with water, which is Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, air. Those energies coming up. All right, so now we get to the next message. All right, so here's message number 2. Sorry about the fluff on my phone. It's not dirt, it's just material fluff. So we have the Shaman Dreams deck at the top, then Metatron, then the Journey of Love, then Nature Whispers, and then my half deck of Rider-Waite at the bottom. So I'll pull that in so you can see a little bit better. Shaman Dreams, Metatron, Journey of Love, Nature's Whispers, and then the half deck at the bottom. So at 11:55, and this still is on the second, to 59, which is the 55 of the Ace of Swords, the 56 of the 2 of Swords, the 58 of the 4 of Swords, and the 59 of the 5 of Swords, which for me references that inner war. The cards at the end of the decks came up as 1112, 1443, and 4443. It was really interesting because 1444 did not come up, but it accidentally came up in Gematria, so I'll let you know what that says in a second. The energy of 11, 12, and 14, skipping that transition, 13, of liberty, justice, wisdom, and the hanging man, loving angel, and all three of them coming together. For her harvest, her Hercules, of abundance and joy, as the first gematria entry for 1112 was bringer of the age of Aquarius. Then Bob Joyce and the heart over mind, and then signed, sealed, and delivered. And then the 14th day. And like I said, May 14th keeps coming up as a significant day. And then it said March 17th, which I was getting as the March to May 17th. So this window, which I think the election is the 16th, 5/14 through the 17th is coming up as a very significant period. So 1443 was B, C, courting. So before Christ, courting to God, word. We are number one, Christopher Wallace. The 7th entry here was the sleeper has awakened, and 10 was Vivaldi, which I have a strong connection to from my 20s. And then 1444 came up by accident, and of course there's no accidents, so I looked to see what it said, and the first entry for 1444 was C twin flame Messiah. I love you, but I love you, babe. Decode, can you handle the truth? Decode, my Lord, delayeth his coming. Yes, we can. So that was coming up as what I posted last. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Decode 8/11. And there's that August to 11 energy of Lionsgate, which is 7 to 8 through October and November, which came up. And 8/11 also are interchangeable between decks and cards, the Strength and Justice card. 7 is What Should I Do? Chosen by the Holy Ghost. And 14 was Sunday, October 30th. And another read this last week came up with November 30th, so the 30th keep coming up as significant. This October 30th, though, is not Sunday, it's Monday. So I don't know year October 30th was Sunday, but you can play with that and figure it out. Maybe there's a message there for you. 17 was Mary Magdalene revealed. 4443 came up as viciously times 3. And then the second entry was I love you all and can't wait to be in the now kingdom together. Justice and Lady Liberty, the Hanging Man and Ellis Island, the Patient Angels coming to America for her harvest, and then 154, which came up with Calendar, George, there's George again, Lord Dot Smile Hammer, Ethan Carrot, the carrot and the stick comes up again, Mohammed Breaking, and Miles and Aldebron. So when I looked up 154 to see what else came up and coming to America, the year 1540 came up in the Spanish conquistadors, which is very interesting because I did stay at El Conquistador in Puerto Rico many years ago. We actually sat next to Michelle Pfeiffer and her husband for dinner that night. Really interesting. So 540 is 0 backing up the 1, 5, and 4, which the day was 5-4 yesterday. And that's the Page of Swords as well. And the 15 of the Shadow. The 40 could come up as the Page of Cups as well. And the Magician, the Hierophant, and the Emperor, the Spanish conquistadors. So what came up here was Pizarro's conquest of the Inca, 1539 to 42. Again, there's that window, just like 514 to 17. His own expeditions of now what is the southeast U.S., Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Texas. And that was coming up from Khan, KHAN Academy.org. They brought European diseases and violence, claiming thousands of native lives, and yet had no silver, gold, real success. 1542, De Soto died of sickness after that. Francisco Vasquez de Coronado went to Mexico, which was New Spain, 1540 to 42, and led the Spaniards and native allies on an exploration of the southwest U.S., the Grand Canyon, as I brought up the Grand Canyon already, the Colorado River, etc. 1540 to 41 waged war against the Tiwa people in what is now New Mexico, but they also left bankrupt with no success regarding the gold mining. What else was just coming up? Oh, I know in Michael Sala's, I don't know which video it was, he was also talking about the Grand Canyon, that there's, it's been guarded. That came up in messages I had to search as well. It's been very guarded because there's like caves in there where they probably are receiving ships or stashing a lot of gold, or whatever they're stashing there. And of course the government blocks it all off so nobody can get in. So again, the Grand Canyon, Colorado River. And then on numerologynation.com, what came up was 7 reasons why you're seeing 154. It came up as an auspicious angel number, new beginnings, opportunities, increased success or positivity, and shaping your own life. Don't let personal ambitions interfere with personal relationships. 1, leadership, freedom, new things, young energy. The 5 of change and versatility and expansion. The 4 of affirmations and masters, structure, ambition, and hard work. And the 154 adding up to 10, which is that destined high vibration, being young and free, perhaps a new religion or new relationship, a new level. This angel number could refer to your twin flame. They said this, not me. Follow angel guidance and or epiphanies. And it was talking about writing down 5 goals 5 times because it commits you to muscle memory. So they said, though, don't type, it has to be writing with your muscles. So write down what you want 5 times because it commits it to muscle memory. 154 also is the code for Sri Gangankar in Rajasthan in India. And also 154 pill is ondansetron hydrochloride, 8 milligrams, yellow round, which is an anti-nausea drug. So, and SpaceX and Blue Origin were both coming up, as well as Rocket Lab. And there were lots of birds talking right here. It was really interesting. October 30th came up right here, right? That came up in the gematria. Sorry, this is still fuzzy. Which I looked it up because I wanted to see if that was a Sunday like in gematria, but it wasn't. It was a Monday. But it was very interesting because October 30th, 2023 is a Monday, also is the 44th week, the 303rd day, and the 38th day of fall. Oh, Sunday was 10/30/22 was a Sunday. So I did figure it out. So at 11:57, the underlying energy is the 20 of the Feast of Plenty. 57 is the 3 of Swords. 17 is Conquistador. Why did I write Conquistador? Because 17 is the Star. I must have been getting the Conquistador from that card, but it's not what the card says. 54 is the Earth Angel. 23 is You Are Worth It. And then the 6 of Cups, which is 46, and the Shadow or the Devil, which is 15. At 12:04, the Hanging Man and the Emperor. Of choices and consequences and sharing happy days in a wake-up call. Feeling fears and angelic help to achieve dreams and shine your light. The Page of Swords here to blanket the earth with rainbows, and the King of Wands with a vision of what's possible on the horizon, flowering as his ship comes in. With the 6 of Cups upright, the kids or twins, soulmates, detoxing the shadow web, which is coming up reversed. Aquarius, Page of Swords message to get up and make your bed, to come see the sunrise and give and give some potted flowers to a friend, or gift of kindness, love, and compassion. At 12:15 of the Hanging Man and the Devil, the underlying energy of the dragon's hoard, the 12 of the Hanging Man, the 43 of the overflow, the Hanging Man coming together with the 46 of the root girl to balance out the water and fire and share. And I'm getting over there, over hill, over dale, but over to the nth degree, over the top choices and their consequences here, or hanging out with Scorpio and Pisces and Cancer, the water signs over a feast of 2 swords in a crystal stone, 2 words or 2 Sophia words of swords, S words, in a crystal or Christ-like or purging Sophia tone, 2 U's words and 1 at 12:21. Aquarius and the emotion of laughter, happy days, and A, so the A for Aquarius is coming up, and Fonzie, and wrong, a swear word, and there's another S word, the swear word, Sophia's where word, and like the werewolf, the where word. Where, I'm not getting, again, where, over here, over there, everywhere, and where's Waldo? 1 is the 63 of the winter's dream, the 9 of swords of stress and sleeplessness, nightmares. Or again, I always thought that was kind of weird, right? Because when people talk about, if someone's name is Mary, people always say to them, nightmare, right? So literally, Mary means bitter as well. So it's given a bad rap, right? Suffering in silence, or sharing with sister, or an icy treat, or issues digesting what you take in, with 62, 8, and 61, and that came up too. Rockabye Baby, right? What an awful thing to sing to your child, right? To scare the crap out of them. That was coming up for someone this week, having moons around, being afraid of not going to sleep because they're afraid they're going to fall out of a tree because of Rockabye Baby. 62, 8, and 61, pipe dreams, crown games, and whale song bursting your bubble, needing to swallow your pride, release anxieties, and remove the ego crown, and take a risk to resonate. Sing, sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad, sing of happy, not sad. At 12:32, the Hanging Man and the Journey. Take treasures you've received from prison and hold in your heart your whale song, your reason, protected in a bubble of your own making. The number 14 card comes up at the end of this row with the drifter experiencing life as it comes, the patient angel. And I was getting a little caught in my throat when I said protected in a bubble of your own making. I was getting like a feather in my throat, which it just came up again. The drifter experiencing life as it comes, the patient angel. There's a secret passageway here with the 53, 64, and 56 from the Knight of Swords, Curious Stranger, and there Curious George is coming up again. I just have to correct a letter I wrote there here. So someone might be correcting a letter here too, or perhaps a document. From the Knight of Swords, Curious Stranger, with laser hands and contemplation of connecting through the hot springs to the tree, with the woodwives circling as offshoots adapting the space for bliss, and inside trunk a hole to see out, or thread the cord, knowing without seeing, and peace of mind. So there's this energy of the masculine energy sitting at a hot spring and contemplating whether he should put his lasers coming from his hand in this water, which will connect his cord through to the roots of the tree and to the offshoot of the feminine, who is then that flexible offshoot of the trunk of the tree. And again, the hole in the tree that allows you to see in and out, to thread the cord, just like you thread, through a stereo system, threading the cord through the different holes to get to the other side for peace of mind. right? Being able to do it without your eyes, right? You're feeling your way through. To thread the cord, knowing without seeing, and peace of mind. As sound needs air, very interesting about sound coming up here. It also uses the water within, with an electric system and waterworks, ultrasound. So remember, yes, sound is slower than light on the outside, but what I was getting will follow. So strange wood here, the wall is, challenges to climb. He's got a lot of quote unquote nerve, electrifying her branch, lighting a fire under her butt, projecting out from within. Okay, so just reflecting the action that occurred because of him putting his laser hands in the spring waters that came through to her. And then ultrasound was coming up, which is greater than 20 kilohertz, out of human range, and high frequency waves to, again, heal the body. And the word sonic means speed of sound. Supersonic is ultrasonic, greater than the speed of sound, or frequency that's too high to hear, or a plane at the speed of sound. At 1251, the Hanging Man and the King of Swords. So at 1252, the Queen of Swords, the word audible was coming up. And of course, AU is gold. And so of course I had to look up dibble, gold dibble. And dibble is pointed tool to make holes in the ground for seeds and plants. And when we talk about the all the time, AWL as the hole, the all and the all and the owl and the holes. The all is the hole maker. And here is the gold hole maker for the ground to plant seeds and plants, and to dip frequently as in angling, like the gold awl, right? To kind of angle through the hole in different ways to make sure it's spread out enough all the way around. The ancient one who creates the hole or the wound is audible. And yeah, I always question that, right? Because light's faster than sound, but then why is word the beginning, right? Because that's sound. So audible comes up as the gold and 2, die, and then BLE. Gold 2, BLE also means blue and wolves and wicks, like 2 wicks in a candle. A blanket or a veil to turn the page. Audible. Gold 2, blue wolves and wicks, blanket or veil to turn the page. Sound travels as longitudinal waves. Dan Winter always talks about this on Elena Danon's and I think it's Michael Sala's show as well. Sound travels as longitudinal waves, and the longitudinal waves, Dan Winter always talks about the collapsing in of the longitudinal waves, propagating in a medium through compression and rarefactions. And water is considered or treated as incompressible, but it's actually not incompressible. It's just not very compressible, right? It's very slightly compressible. Nothing is incompressible, so water is actually compressible. The speed of sound in water is approximately 1,500 meters per second. Okay, sound through water, whereas in air, it's much slower. They rate it here as 343 to 7 meters per second. And that depends on temperature, etc., and other variables. So sound, it travels faster in water than air, but light doesn't travel well underwater. If water were incompressible, sound propagates instantly in it. No waves. And then you think about talking on a phone too, right? You can talk on the phone across the world and hear each other instantly. The speed of sound equals the speed of light in a vacuum. Somebody was questioning on this website, and the density of matter. And that was from physics. stockexchange.com. Is that what it wrote? I'm sorry, I write so much, sometimes it gets a little sloppy. Physics. It looks like STACT and then exchange.com. But the answer here was no, right? Does the speed of sound equal the speed of light in a vacuum? Regarding the density of matter. And the answer from the person was no, it's about matter density, or no about matter density, but compressibility. So it wasn't about density, it was about its compressibility. They did observe in neutron stars about 60% of the speed of light. Denser than that becomes a black hole based on sound spreading due to the electromagnetic field, of course. So water's compressibility is quote unquote unexpected, right? The 11th hour kind of energy, like the anticipation of the 11th hour. Then it becomes that 0 point, the hole, the black hole, in which it becomes instant. Again, so I'm getting like sound without, of course, is slower than light, but sound within is a whole different plight. So propagate or originate and spread or disseminate to produce young, to be produced or multiplied, multiply, increase, generate, disseminate, produce, by generation or by new shoots, as we talk about the feminine being the offshoot of the trunk of the tree or plants, to cause to take effect on all relevant devices in a network, offspring, children, the stock, the breed, the progeny, posterity. So compression renders denser, right? Because when you compress something, it makes it more dense. To press or to fold in upon self, making it more compact. If word was first, how can light be faster? And I was getting psychic sound, communication by instant knowing, because there's no words required. Sound can be instant within. At 121, the magician and the 21 of the world, or the masculine and feminine together, the chord, the underlying energy of the 45 of endings that you are held, the 54, then reflecting 45 of the Page of Swords and Lilac in the higher realms, the 19 of the Fire Dragon's strength, and Puff in a dragon on a cloud. And again, refer to the cloud pics, because that day I got the castle and the city in the cloud the day before. On the 32 journey through the Tree of Life, clearing from orange to gold, orangutan to angelic or the ancient one, you are held by progeny in the sunset. What's yet to come already set. As rockets take off, and Rocket Lab came up there again, and message of SpaceX and Blue Origin and their IPOs. I don't know when that's supposed to happen, but for whatever the reason, they're coming up. So I looked up Blue Origin at that time. This was 141, the magic of the Ace of Cups or the Holy Grail. And again, environmental groups sue the FAA over SpaceX Starship explosion. The launch pad apparently exploded all over the place, and the ship later, scattering all over, endangering the environment and the animals. Rocket and sine wave, sound through water underground. So, and again, here's this traveling of sound underground. To castle in the sky, as dragon watches with fire in their belly, a message to sun to take steps down to heal. Be an angel, won't you? So again, there's that energy of sound instantly transferring underground, kind of like the roots of the tree and the way they communicate, right? Because they're all connected. And I forget what tree it was, but the one tree, if someone picks from their tree, they instantly would tell the whole group of trees to pull their stuff back in, which they do. Really cool. So the 23 of duality came up here with the 151, which is the King of Swords, and the 8 of leadership, the lead ship, and the King of Wands in duality. And he keeps coming up this year in 2023 as the need to learn how to balance his passions. The 50 of signs from spirit, and the King of Wands off balance as his ship or leadership shows. Oh, that's interesting too, because I got a mothership in my cloud pics today. The 10 of Cups family and signs from spirit, and the birds with love to dance nicely with them. They needs to take the lead with flame in hand, ring and 3 keys in the other, which represents the tree keys. Perhaps tricky, but the tree keys of the family tree, right? The Shea tree, which is the tree house or the family tree. the answering of the call for a happy family. And again, happy days keeps coming up. The Seven of Water, or the Chariot, for emotional well-being, and the Dodecadron, the key to the gamma waves, the Boomerang, and Saint Dolphin, which is my nickname for Sandalphon. The light may break through the water, but sound is instant down deep. The crack heard round the world. With 35, 25, and 51, the Wounded Warrior here and the King of Swords. The Kundalini trapped, the heart of passion and love for life, and the diamond white light of the King of Swords. The root, the heart, and the wings, as his sword rises into his wings quickly, purifying the Wounded Warrior into the King of Swords and Sandalphon, again, who's considered the partner of Metatron. And I'm hearing, I don't know if that's the mailman, I'm hearing some, my mailman was at the door. Teddy went to go see. So you just got a delivery. At 2:03 is the High Priestess and the Empress, the underlying energy of the 52, Queen of Swords, and the Ancient Ones, the 44 of Rings of Time, the 52 and the 44, which they have come up as the same energy of Lady Liberty, right? But 44 is Hercules, right? So she carries the weight of the world in more of a social worker sense, whereas Atlas is more of a physical, passionate sense. So 52 and 44 are coming up together here as the Queen of Swords and the Ancient Ones in the Rings of Time, like the rings of the tree. And Hercules is her harvest. Queen of Swords being Lady Liberty here, 52. Hercules and Lady Liberty, and Hermes and Thoth, sister Athena. And again, there's a connection between Hermes and Mercury as well, right? There's lots of different perspectives. So 96 reflects the 698 pod, distant shores 18, and 4 moons under the bridge, in the emerald and violet lights in the water. So here we're bringing water, which remember is slower in the water, and the flower moon 5-5, the strawberry moon 6-4, and the buck moon 7-3, taking us to the 4th moon, which is August 1st, or 81, which is the end of karma around the world, which is the sturgeon moon. The stir of energy on. And then the 2nd moon in August is the super blue moon, August 30th. So there's the 30th of the month again. I was just getting munchkins or munchies. I'm not sure which it was. But the end of August, 8:30 to 31 coming up. And again, the 4 and 5 coming together as August as 1. And the way that comes up is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 elements, and 5 isn't another element, it's the combination of the 4, and 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals 10, which equals 1. So the 4 elements plus 5 actually is the plus 1. But again, August 1st coming up. 18 is the card that just came up, which is the moon, which reflects 8-1, water under the bridge, trapped in distant shores of rings of time and space. Right? We always call Father Time, but we call Mother Nature. But space is part of nature. So Father Time and Mother Space, right? She's the dark energy of the sky, the unknown. And the 54 of the Page of Swords, Earth Angel, blanketing rough waters here. A message from Ma in the moon. To Sun, that it's too soon. A need to wait for the rain to dry up a bit. 4-4 through 8-1 with 5-4 message to cover up or grab a blanket. So again, there could be unexpected coldness or a lot of rainy weather. Lady Liberty, Hercules holding the moon for monsoons, and that was coming up too. Elena Denon had talked about one of her videos was the message from the Altians, which were referencing that they are our original family. And that was coming from Pegasus. But again, they're saying we came from the place Mon, and we were called humans, or humans. And so here it's coming up again as the monsoons. We're coming up as holding the moon for monsoons, or man soon. The Altians and Pegasus playmate of Hercules. Athena and Hebe too, pegged as us and her harvest, bookends of then and Hebe too. And Hebe is the youngest child of Hera and Zeus. Remember, Hercules is not supposed to be fully God, but part human. So he's not considered one of the Olympians, right? So at 2:20, the divine feminine and the judgment, the wake-up call, the three of the burning hero, and here's that energy of burning, like, revving the engine and burning the residual off, rolling over in flames, her 0 point. The hero is her 0 point. The message from Mother Nature, and 15 is Mother prays in the dark, that she isn't dark, but she prays in the dark. The 32 of the journey of devotion to the small, the old whale and birds, the plants, seeds, and the children, with Taurus, Leo, and Capricorn here, which are 2 fixed and then 1 cardinal. So we have at 2:23, and notice that 5 is the Hierophant, which is Taurus, is fixed, but 5 is more mutable, right? Because it's the go-between. Or is it? So I'm getting that the midpoint isn't actually mutable. Near the midpoint is, but not the midpoint. Very interesting. I've never gotten that before. So at 2:23, the divine feminine and the King of Wands, or this year, the 37 of the King of Cups, of fire and the King of Wands, and then JC, which also comes up as the Taurus. If you write J and C together, it literally looks like a directional Taurus with direction, not straight up and down. JC in the middle, between the wounded warrior and the King of Swords, right? The one who's in victim mentality and the pure one who's purified, the King of Swords. As the 8, 1, and 33, and again here the 81's coming up again, and the 81 comes up from the Divine Triangle numerology book, being the end of the life cycle. And for me, it was coming up as the end of karma around the world. And 33, of course, is the Christ vibration, and it comes up for me as the rainbow bridge. The yin-yang lover bending over backwards like a pretzel, or the number 8, to get to the point of magic heart fire, the Christ spark in the rose, or risen heart. 33, where God speaks, and I'm still having trouble getting full voice here. It's there's something there. 33, again, that martyring energy, right, where they need to speak their truth. 33, where God speaks and tweets, dancing and leaping, do-si-do, and arcing across the rainbow bridge. Source white to emerald and violet, and word to end the karma around the world. 8/1/23 to 33, which comes up as not August 31st, but September 2nd, where the full moon is still resonating. So it's giving me the energy, right, because we have another full moon on the 30th or 31st, but it's giving me that full moon period that resonates through September 2nd in that super moon. Oh, and that day Teddy got an audition. So that was cool. So at 2:30, which is the feminine and the 4 of Wands, the number 233 came up. And the first entry was gematria. So gematria is GE, which is energy, and then matrix perhaps, or the mother tria, the energy of the mother sorted into 3. The 2 of Mosiah, and again that can reference messes to clean up as well. The 3 of luck, and the 4 of the horse, or Mr. Ed, and the 7 to decode the end. At 2:31, again the crown of thorn comes up with 31. God speaks through dog. And then dogma is coming up, the dog and the mother. But the dog coming up as Teddy, and Teddy looks like a horse. And then Mr. Ed, so there's that energy between the dog and God. That's pretty cool. So at 3:20 here, the Empress and the 20 of the wake-up call, Mother Nature, which isn't just our planet and nature, it's also space. It's everything but that channeled source energy. right? That word. So at 3:20, the underlying energy here is the 18 of the moon, the 19 of the sun, which is night and day, the moon and the sun, the eclipse, and the new experiences and possibilities, and a shift in your energy or daughter to sun. Bouquets and flowers to ships and showers. And my daughter's actually going to a shower soon. And actually she's making bouquets. Oh, how crazy is that? 12, and she was just starting to make them last night, so I had no idea when I wrote this. The 12 of expansion, the hanging man with subconscious and consciousness, night and day. The 1 and 2 of the masculine and feminine, as the masculine hand reaches out for hers before she disappears, with buck and little one, or July buck full moon, which is the 3rd, and the little girl, or young June, with hummingbirds and balloons, 4 plus 4, his and hers, mountain to mountain with 2 rainbow bridges between, and cozy hammock in his cave for days like these, happy days. At 3:26 is the Empress and the 26 of the Page of Wands. Hold on, I just have to write that down. The higher ground and roses, growing very high. The wake-up call to notice your plants, to see how they're growing much more. And you've noticed they came really early this year because we had a really warm winter. And then it got colder in the spring, actually. But everything's like fully bloomed. Or a lot of things are anyway. From the valley with the sheep, rising to the occasion, the little fairy girl, with the 41 of the Holy Grail, and being in service to the little ones. The seahorse, little Pegasus. Remember, seahorse is a horse from the sea, is Pegasus. The seahorse, little Pegasus, where the Altians are from, with girlfriend next door, octopus teacher, ahead of it all. Shells, anyway, and a conch, in case they need to call. From the coral reef of the orbital reef, which again references blue origin. The blue origin orbital reef is the LEO, or low Earth orbit satellite, space station by Blue Origin, and Sierra, which is the color on my phone that I always like to use when you're making pictures. Station by Blue Origin and Sierra Space for commercial and tourism uses. And they work with Boeing, red wire, so there's that red infrared energy, red wire, space, Amazon, and Genesis Engineering Solutions, and ASU, and I went to ASU. The Holy Grail and hooking up to God's rail, let's make a deal. Pegasus hooves dug out a spring. Pegasus Technologies in Kennett Square and Media, PA. So they're actually from around the Philadelphia area, and IT Solutions. She and Teddy bringing him in, her and her little love, as the King of Wands 23. You are worth it, your vision of her, and her ship coming in. Flowers and candles and Torian birthday tiered cakes. And instead of all that jazz, it was coming up and all that drag. So somebody might be going to something in drag. But Teddy keeps coming up as like a placeholder for the masculine, because he comes up as the King of Wands all the time. And I catch him staring at me all the time, right? And there's that energy of the masculine coming in, watching the feminine. And actually he was looking at me this morning, and I said, yes, I like looking at you too. You are worth it, your vision of her and your ship coming in, flowers and candles and Torian birthday cakes, tiered cakes, and all that drag. At 3:48, the Empress and the 48 of Walking Away and Within, the 8 of Cups. The first card here is the 22 of the Fool's Leap of Faith to the 5D station. A high wire act, or perhaps grid work, with a net to land in, and what a catch. The spider is glad to have 'em. With the 40 and the Page of Cups to show your support to the birds and the bees and the flowers and the fairies, as the man in the boat with the oar and ready to lay down their coat of arms. A leap of the Page of Cups to the shore with the King of Wands to see their ship come in. The 14 of assurance, of patience, as sure is antsy, or 4 ants or 4 generations, with 4 different seasons, summer, fall, and spring before winter. And then the birds at 354 with the Empress and the Page of Swords. So again, the warm winter and cool spring came up. The King of Wands, Fool, and the Page of Cups in a higher love, or impatient for them to get there, till lovers leap. With the 24 and the 6 coming up side by side, which is the way 24 would be written, 24/6, the Queen of Wands, or Omega, and lovers, to be, and again that represents the 24th pair of chromosomes as well. The Queen of Wands, chromosomes, or Omega lovers, to be your best self always. Andromeda, with a dramatic father, and Pegasus. Hand in hand, they share a star. The wild child with the crazy hair and her free ride hold on tight in the corral. At 356, the Empress and the Two of Swords with the Pleiadians, again reference the Queen of Wands and 6 sisters. So instead of 7 sisters, the Pleiadians are coming up as I'm losing my voice again. The Queen of Wands and the 6 sisters, the big picture. Right? So like the human feminines are the 7th sister, basically. The fairy godmother, healing the South Pole, to flower the crown. They've definitely got a fairy godmother watching out for them, so you may, as twins, have had people say that to you through your life. The 49 of the 9 of Cups, to get your wish, to heighten your vitality, to brighten your colors or expand your palette. Or she gets a big picture and free ride with her little Pegasus, or talking horse, or dog who rides with her. A horse is a horse, of course, unless you're Mr. Ed. At 404, the 2 fours of the Lamb Eclipse, again the Lamb to the Father, but also the 2 Emperors with space between, and the underlying energy of the King of Swords with the Page of Wands, the serious man with a magic wand, excited to make dreams come true with Justice and the World, or Libra and Pisces, or dreamy divine feminine and Page of Pentacles student of Dark Night, or the opportunity to ride with Dark Night or Scorpio to meet the Knight of Wands manifesting with the Queen of Pentacles or Virgo's sister, or with sister or fiery Virgo or Gemini and Pisces, with an opportunity to connect one-to-one or partner with the Emperor with a passion project for them, freeing up his sleepless nights for the 6 of Cups, sweet, innocent love connection. And then what was coming in? And you light up my life, you give me hope to carry on, you light up my days and fill my nights with song. So that song is by Joe Brooks, and of course made very famous by Debbie Boone, and you should go watch that on YouTube if you've never watched, because she's very soulful singing. That was from 1978, Oscar winner. I think it was at the top for like 10 weeks. 2009, Joe, the writer of the song, was arrested and charged for fake casting calls to assault and or rape, or accused of anyway, about 12 women, but he died by suicide prior to trial in 2011. So at 420, the Emperor and the Judgment card, or the wake-up call. The first card here is the Chariot, the Hermit, and the 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior. The vehicle of light, the innocence and their gentle love, as she floors him. He compressed, as she lifts, as he rolls off balance, steamrolled by her reach up and down, far and wide, the sound from inside, with instant manifestation. His vision of her, her leap of faith, as she pulls the blanket out from under him, unraveling everything he thought he was, and squeezing out the rest in a rebirth. Show your support as he is still fresh and new, the 4 seasons rebirthing over and over again in 4 parts. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go, go, go. All children know Rockin' Robin, tweet, 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 Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet. So that was coming up, and Elvis was coming up. Trying all angles before the lambda, or lambda father leap, that 3 and 4 in the sound of magic and silence, of mother space and father time, as quote-unquote word arcs in, and the lamb must learn to leap to father, and yet know how to return to self. The 6 of Cups traveling, moving and ascending, with hermit one and all, for wise counsel, the best kind, while the wounded warriors guarded, or the gateholder, remember there's a place for everyone, of the Queen of Cups, King of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, and Page of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Cups, as the Queen of Cups masters the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine roles with a message of love as the Queen of Swords to the world, and the King of Cups is catching it, or the Queen of Swords is cutting the Page of Cups and King of Cups in half, or fathers and children sent to their separate corners at 4:40 in their boxing match, and 44 is Hercules and her harvest, and Source supporting that. And that's the rings of the tree as well, the 44 card. As the Queen of Cups focuses on the heart song, or the song of the heart, and the Queen of Swords on the word, or heartfelt song, as the Knight of Cups offers love to the Empress and the King of Wands, and the Knight of Swords charging them, Cancer with love, but Saggy or Virgo wants their money, or Empress and the King of Wands are partnering, as the Knight of Pentacles keeps the Queen of Wands busy, or a knight for each, as in a person knight for each, but all actions being ignored. Kids coming in, the King of Wands and or Hermit chiming in with advice, and the Knight of Pentacles chasing down the Queen of Wands very slowly, but never gives up. But the Queen of Wands is distracted by temptation or ball and chain, as the Page of Swords Gemini is inserting themselves into their field of view, halting them from taking an offer before they hear what they have to say. Soulmates, twins, kids and siblings, parents and children visit, travels together, give and receive advice, and offering love to the Empress or Mother, just for the Empress to receive the King of Wands with harsh words or running interference, or a pet, or Cancer, greeting her with love, while the King of Wands with harsh words, or are they both two sides of the same person, coin, or pet? Soft motherly side and harsh fatherly side. And then in the middle, the Empress isn't the Empress, but the Queen of Wands with help to figure out how to deal with toxicity and or codependence in their life, facing conflict without letting it get to them with lover, twin, or Gemini, helping to heal without destabilizing them completely, a step at a time in small doses, and time to take it all in, to be kind to each other, to share loving time. Perhaps after stress of parenting kids or parents or self, the King of Wands is off balance, burned by too much fire in the thunder roll. And again, there's that energy of rolling through fire in the vortex, but being on the outside of the cyclone. Lightning strikes, but sound is profound and resonates far and wide from within. When she reaches heights, he down low under pressure to smooth over his rough spots, through the ringer, squeezed and twisted, hung out to dry, after overindulgence in American Pie. In the basement, the cave, as mother prays from above that he finds a nice girl, a natural one, at 5:05. Released from duties, and again that's today with space between, released from duties or dethroned, perhaps warrior and old man had words. As the whale song is deep and bird with tweets and light on their feet, to put some little ones in the ground and grow a tree for all seasons that will always stand guard and protect, give shade when needed, when things get too hot. The drifter and the dolphin, flowering or flowing and leaping in the vortex and all around, the Divine Masculine inside, not taking sides, off sides, just focused on the white light, and the Divine Feminine outside, on all sides, taking in all the colors. Red, white, and blue, or RWNB. Aha, I'm getting the rhythm and blues with the two U's in between. Earth, wind, and water, gathering resources to face the firing squad, or the mod squad, or the vice squad. And then this was coming up as the Titans and the Olympians. And then processing through the generations here. The Titans were coming up as the firing squad, the Olympians, the mod squad. And then I was looking for the next generation, which is basically the new Romans before they became the Romans. So the new Romans were coming up as the vice squad. And again, that energy of military squadron. And then the full Roman Empire comes up farther down the road. Because then we get to like 2 to 300, or rather 700 to 200 came up as the flying squad before Christ. And then the 200 to 300, or 200 before Christ to 300 after Christ was coming up as the death squad. Again, that's the Roman Empire then in Jesus. So yes, that's the way the generations were coming up. The Titans, the Olympians, the new Romans, into the space between the flying squad to the Roman Empire of the death squad, and then into the after death years. And there's some timelines. The bomb squad and the housewives were coming up. The pre-baby boomers, so in our generation, were coming up as the housewives. And then the baby boomers resurfacing. This comes up, hold on. So in this tree that I found, and this might just be from Wikipedia, the Neanderthals, they were talking about 430,000 years, but they ranged 550 to 750 actually, but they don't know for sure. And then the different species from 2 to 700,000 of the Homo heidelbergensis. Again, the African family tree, which became the Homo sapiens, and then the European branch, which then went away. Except the Denisovans may have a little bit in the Asian culture. They may have been that Asian branch. 300,000 scrapers and awls, AWLs, came up, the hole makers. And then 90,000 barbed points made with bone. 50 to 60,000 genes and climate reconstructions show migration out of Africa, although there had been, randoms out of Africa prior to that. And then 15 to 40,000 Homo sapiens became the only surviving human species. Perhaps Asians 3 to 5% DNA from the Denisovans, but they're unsure. So we went from the Bronze Age into 1200 BC because then iron became more in focus. 9 to 800 was archaic Greece, and then 8 to 7 the Roman kingdom forms, and then that mid-period with the flying squad into the Roman period of 2 to 100 BC, and then afterwards, after death, the death squad. And we come back to the Syrian deck, and that at ancient Greece came up at 555, which is a lot of change. The Syrian deck and the underlying energy needing to surrender, the Two of Pentacles reversed to all that is, and the Page of Pentacles reversed uninspired or no curiosity, where I added, these were cards that were added on to my first read as the Syrian Starseed deck. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the same picture as the first one, except I the half deck of Rider-Waite is covered up by the SIRIAN Starseed deck, and then my mini deck as clarifiers for what I continued here. So this energy of the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Wands reversed, and the Shadow reversed. Depressed Page of Pentacles reversed with the Knight of Pentacles reversed as well. Ending conflicts or losing battle with detox or purifying the group. With the Divine Masculine King of Cups overworked or things not working out, taking a load off but under the radar, imprisoned by the Page of Cups reversed, perhaps someone dealing with PTSD after the war, with the Emperor and the King of Pentacles both upright here, present for the Empress reversed, or bringing a gift to her, with the King of Wands reversed seeking attention from a third party, or the King of Cups with their hands tied feeling rejected by the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. So this could be someone who feels like the black sheep of the family, that the Emperor or father or grandfather always favored the King of Pentacles, or they're always present for the Empress, whereas the King of Cups maybe always is stuck at work. They can't get there to help. Or having to confess to the Emperor that he failed him, or the Page of Cups reversed did, or both. Or dealing with PTSD after loss of a child, or clash of the Titans, and Gen X, Y, Z, or A. A is for Aquarius, and A. As the Emperor's upright and the King of Pentacles is present for the Empress reversed, and the King of Wands reversed is off drinking, or the problem child or something, or with a third party. So again, the King of Wands reversed could be that player. The Queen of Swords, Divine Feminine, bursting through the Ring of Fire, or birthing the Page of Swords, Queen of Swords and Page of Swords, after a sudden event. So that could be early. Or birthing new messages over and over again, which is epiphanizing. Coming clean or cleaning up the Page of Swords with a message of healing and need for peace, or after deception, the new moon eclipse, or having to get up early or without sleep and knocked off balance with new information or clarity or drama at 6:50, the Lovers and the Ten of Cups family. So the boomers are coming up as post-boom, right? So the baby boomers are past the war, right? So they would be the boom. What did I call? Are they the? Oh, they're the boomerangs. All right. So the early 1900s were coming up as the boomerangs. So that the baby boomers came up, were dated as 46 to 64. Gen X came up as 65 to 80, and I was getting the wild card with no identity. Gen Y was coming up as contrast, 81 to 96, and Gen Z was coming up as Oz, 97 to 2012, right? Getting to the wizard, right? Because that was the end of this earth into the next. And then Gen A is coming up as the rocket, but also Aquarius. So again, going into other worlds in the age of Aquarius, 2012 to 25 to 26, and it may be further than that. Okay, so at 6:51, the Lovers and the King of Swords, the Queen of Cups Virgo, or Cancer with Hermit, lighting their way, Lover, Twin, or Gemini Queen of Swords, with truth to bring to those defenseless and awakening, to frustration, uninspired, no growth or abused and stressed out, with nightmares, or the Queen of Wands reversed, not sleeping, with the Ten of Cups upright, perhaps a sham fam, or the Ten of Cups family of sister, or quiet one, intuition, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, with wounded warrior on guard, depleted and sad, that they are happy with themselves alone and don't need them. Synchronicities, choices, heaven in their eyes, as the Page of Pentacles reversed is unable to get business or commitment or marriage off the ground, or spiritual understanding. So they drop the ball, the facade, or decide to break patterns and hang out and be still in the energetic exchange or flow of separation, because the Magician's reversed and insecure and or manipulative at times, and uncomfortable with their emotions of jealousy and rejection and issues at work. So then the Chariot's reversed here. Broken or stuck. And this is when I had a TED Talk, so me and Teddy, our TED Talks. Because I was talking to him about the birds, because we put some seeds out for the birds, which he used to watch me do last year. So we were do you think we need to put some seeds out? And he was like, yes. So I put some seeds out for the birds. And I was talking to him here about how the birds have to hunt for their food, that Teddy gets me to give his food to him, but the birds have to find it for themselves. And he was really listening to me. So the chariot's reversed, broken or stuck, with the world upside down, grounding and integrating and mastering how to receive help. Withholding or playing hardball to receive love from the Knight of Swords reversed, not calling, having to put out what little they have to fix and mend and fall in love, or get them to fall so they'd love to come back again. At 7:02 p.m., which is the chariot and the high priestess with space between. And the energy of a fool in love. So the drama of the tower here, of imbalance, of not sharing, and continued epiphanizing, overworking, but together with soulmate at 8:37, the dance of the King of Cups and unconditional love, reaping rewards. And then the Queen's Gambit. It was really interesting here because they just crossed into Pennsylvania. With review and daydreaming, the Page of Wands reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, assessing their worth, sizing each other up as the King of Swords reversed with justice in lovers out in the cold and destitute. The patient angel conceding to end the pain. The Nine of Pentacles sovereign in a losing battle with immature kids or egos that don't like to lose. The Dark Knight detoxing with the twin flame in a pseudo-unnatural death or chess match. Home, union, and the Knight of Wands upright sweeping them off their feet, or in a clean sweep with the Ten of Pentacles upright, family, business, community, or legacy, or heaven on earth. Destined to keep the golden goose in check, or is that in cheek? In disconnect or at a distance to remain strong and tame the beast. At 8:56, the dance of the Two of Swords, of being near knowing. It's like knowing without knowing, keeping your energy clear. Or is that pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with something? So the next day was 5-3, which came up with the Devil and Mrs. Jones. The 3 of Mrs. Jones, the Empress, and the day added up to the Devil. And that was Wednesday. And JR was coming up again. And perhaps illness. At 10:31, and then 10:35, which is the Wounded Warrior. And that's when I saw the cardinal standing alone, because I just told you I saw a cardinal pair back on the fence the other day. And then on the 3rd, just the male cardinal was alone up on the back wire. At 11:44, which is the time of my birth, but also my soul and life lesson number. My soul number is 3811, the Queen of Cups, and my life lesson number is the 44, which is that 4 of Cups energy, but also the numerology book considers it the Atlas energy, but for me it's more of the Hercules energy. At 12:12, I pulled the SIRIAN Starseed deck for an organic read. So they just came out, and by the way, this was additional cards that came up in that read I just did for you. They were just more of the mini deck. And then so this read is the SIRIAN Starseed deck, and then clarified with the mini deck of Rider-Waite. And this was pulled at 12:12, so the two hanging out together. The underlying energy of the Ten of Pentacles upright, right? The Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, or legacy of heaven on earth. The group, the team, but there's a lot of abundance here. The conflict and competition with shadow, shade, unclear. Needing light about falling out in the past or a bad childhood. Family memories returning, or children from wealth dealing with the devil. The Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, injustice and recovery to manifest big or get back into their good graces, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, carrying the weight of the world, or slaving for the King of Pentacles upright, or just not on the same page, or the Page of Wands upright and the Knight of Pentacles upright, injustice of having to report back to the Magician, or master manifester or manifestors, perhaps with the King of Pentacles too, about the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who's burdened or with too much weight or responsibilities, or ungrounded under the weight of the King of Pentacles. Perhaps a business owner, or kids and their parents who don't agree and a lot of money involved, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who may not want to feel the weight of the King of Pentacles responsibilities or business, community, or family duties, or the King of Pentacles upright is happy with work, but it leaves the Queen of Pentacles reversed with everything else. And again, like the masculine and then Mother Nature being everything but that channeled energy. The Ten of Pentacles upright, family, business, community, legacy, or world. Conflict, sports, competition and play. The pursuit of power and riches as opposed to happiness here. With Earth, Capricorn upright, Libra reversed, Gemini or Virgo upright, and Scorpio and Aries upright as well. With the Six of Cups reversed, with the Page of Swords or message, or with one little pinky, they're able to strike, or summoning Zeus or Athena Hercules to strike the cement, a natural phenomenon felt far and wide. The children of Atlas, hey Zeus, Athena, and Hercules, her harvest, at play, as hay is for horses, and horse sees the two-eyed needle. Two children together with one little message of lightning and thunder, and then what comes down under. The rumblings of the inner sound instantly heard around the world, or in the round. So it's getting like the Knights of the Round Table. And the last coming up here with Atlas, so Atlas and Athena. Atlas and Athena, which Hercules was coming up there. And the last, of course, can reference a lassie, but it's coming up as lots of LAs, la 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 la, and I was getting la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Right, so really high vibration. Alas, Atlas and Athena, or Athena. Alas, those ones, tired, weary, rags, shred, joint weld, to gather and to read out loud, and understand and collect, permit, or perhaps a certificate. Shy, loose, unattached, maiden, young girl, to load or loss. And henna, alive, mother, meat, happiness, joy, peace of mind, henna, shrub, name, cloth, and fabric. And that, look at that left flame. It heard me. So alas, to gather, join all that's needed, those tired and weary maidens, unattached, shredded ones, to read out loud and fully understand, permit, the mother's happiness, joy, and peace of mind at 12:53, the hanging man and the messenger of truth. Because they're seen as unattached, which is seen as being sly or deceitful, yet alive, the fabric, the mother of all creation, of joy, happiness, and peace of mind. To be the maiden and the mother simultaneously, the maiden must make her intentions fully clear for the mother's peace of mind. And the daughter of Zeus was coming up here. So again, his first wife was Metis, Metis, of wisdom. His second wife was Hera, which was his sister wife. So he kept it in the family, I guess, after the first one didn't work out. And coming up is the Jupiter satellite as well. So Hebe is the youngest of Hera and Zeus, and Athena is talked about as his favorite, the god of as wisdom. Zeus even let her use his thunderbolt. But I'm getting her as Hercules. And of course, Eris is coming up as weaving. You know, and Eris is that bold Aries energy of temper. But Hera, the sister wife of Zeus, is the goddess of marriage and birth. So Hera is her and Hebe, her youngest. Her, a Hebe, Athena, which means that one, the breast of a woman, the ear, which came up in the cards, and the belt. A kind of gauze silk, minty and citrusy, I, thee, they, and tea, the voice heard around the world. Her and her youngest daughter, her stepdaughter, or son, right, Athena as Hercules, and all that, quote unquote, one with breasts, but an ear to listen, and belt of silk, to protect, defend, and create. A wise woman, permitted to express not only her love, but her wisdom too. Yentl, of yen and TL, ye beautiful, pretty. The teaspoon and timeline, the yen that is round silver, and smoke or opium, a strong desire. Look here, there, cold, and behold, you full Japanese coin or currency or value. The county and the yenmek, to win or be eaten. The strong desire of yearning to win or be eaten alive. And again, the show, The Queen's Gambit, is that energy. She was very masculine and trying to learn how to find her femininity again. Very significant for our journey here. The strong desire and yearning to win or be eaten alive. Again, of the orphan child who needed to, protect themselves. The timeline of Japanese or Asian currency, a teaspoon of something to make the medicine, the natural medicine, go down. Sweet to partner with bitter, to be pleasant, tasteful, and easy to take, or satisfying, in other words. So again, taking the bitter to the sweet side in order to partner and come back to the middle, to be pleasant, tasteful, easy to take, and satisfying. And then the blower's daughter came up. Can't take my eyes off of you. And Athena and Hercules as the Cinderella stepdaughter, the one who had to play dual roles to make the shoe fit. She learned to stand up for herself and make her own clothes, to be one with nature and let all the bad stuff her stepmother did roll off her shoulders. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, and then ooh. And I can't sing that. But loving you is easy because you're beautiful. And of course, that was sung by Olivia Newton-John. And notice she has a hyphenated name, Newton, as in neutron, and John. So Jimmy Neutron's coming up as well. And John Travolta. So Greece is coming up too. Every day of my life is filled with loving you. No one else can make me feel the colors that you bring. Stay with me while we grow old, and we will live each day as springtime. Loving you, I see a soul come shining through. And I actually posted a cloud pic saying Portrait of a Soul, so check them out. At 128, The Magician and the Twin Flames. Every day of my life is filled with love in you. Atlas Athena, the map of her harvest, from grand to child. And then here is the two AAs for archangels. But again, with a very stable base, so arced, like a Buddhist temple. So the two A's, but curved, like arcs, with the line across the A's being the bridges very high across, which Elena had described when she went off planet to see this city, which had lots of very big bases, right? Very strong foundation that curved up to a small point with very high bridges across. So this Archangel AA is coming up as the new cities, very high. The archangels and the arcing angles of the AA and AA, which represent the U and the U, the Michael and Metatron, Mother and Mary and Magdalene, but also the U and the waves of change. And then as the waves all come together, and there's 4 waves, okay? 4 peaks, and the book ends at 137 to 38, which is the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups of unconditional love, and the 1 of the Magician embodiment. 2 gates and the sound and the telephone line. Hello, how are you? I'd tell you everything if you'd pick up that telephone. How you feeling? Are you still the same? Don't you realize the things we did were all for real and not a dream? Telephone line, give me some time. I'm living in twilight. And of course that's ELO from the 1976 Surrender album. And that call on the song in the beginning was UK to US. So they literally mimicked the exact sound of the call from the UK to the US. So, of course, Electric Light Orchestra comes up, and the Elohim, and the 1976 of the bicentennial. And then I want to get la, 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 la. It's coming up again. And it's coming up as the chord between the Elohim, the ELO, the 138 to 39 of the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Defenseless to the group, perhaps 5 to 6, refusing to let go of the flame after shocking message, or the Page of Swords is thunderbolt. The Tower of the Four of Wands, the home and union, and defenseless added wand of 5 and or 6, needing to rise and tango and get back on the horse, the Knight of Cups upright, to bridge some love and kind words, to free the Knight of Swords, or to delivery person, being practical and holding on, or on the telephone line, or the shoestring and cup. For the Three of Pentacles is work, to rest and relax, the place to be of the 5D Connect, a meditation of sorts. The King of Cups reversed at work aligning with the Atlas to leave the Nine of Wands wounded warrior behind, with one flame in hand, without the 9, in a divorce or broken contract, or walking away from a religion or establishment, stepping outside the box, without societal guidance. The Queen of Cups calling or heartfelt announcement to receive love from twin flame and hang out to see wise new perspectives. The divorcee frustrated third party with epiphanies, or without growth and feeling abused by bad influences and sudden events, or big drama, drinking or gossiping, or those who do, and mind-blowing parties and or sex, or needing to be inspired and find joy, and blown crown wide open, with the Chariot upright. The King of Cups reversed, working with a lot of responsibility and no guidance, and uncommitted as yet, in a bold move to move, travel, or visit, with the Page of Cups reversed, unemotional or whiny perhaps, presenting information or the truth, with an offer of time, money, and effort to end any discomfort, or having some back pain, or on pins and needles, and treatment, struggling, or with hands tied, and sad to hear about the struggles, perhaps mother upright and father reversed, and son, as Taurus is reversed, Cancer, Aquarius, Capricorn, or Pisces, and Scorpio are all upright, and the Page of Cups reversed may be needing guidance, or with someone older who does, healing a divorce, broken contract, or back issues night and day, healing and dreaming of lots of sunshine, and or dreaming of their vacation, and getting away from the establishment for fun and sun, kids and pets, with Leo upright and Saggy reversed, or impatient Queen of Wands, or with Saggy in their chart, waiting for the Page of Swords to reply, who is standing firm, with the Queen of Wands upright facing her fears, could be a child of divorce here too, or with Taurus and Pisces in chart, traveling a lot or going the distance for bliss, but also then causing another's imprisonment or tying them up with their responsibilities, or giving to self when feeling down, perhaps some retail therapy, or alternative healing for dreams to come true and be fully energized again, exposing a need for a higher love, the Queen of Wands with a small message that they can walk away from if needed. At 220, the Divine Feminine and the 20 of Judgment, where all 4 aces were here, but the Ace of Wands was the only one reversed. So perhaps there's physical and passionate work here on hold. And then the Ace of Cups upright with the 3 of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords and the Wheel all upright, in an outpouring of love at the workplace with the whole truth just below the surface, and destined. After defenseless to energies of overwhelm and wanting to share, or settle out, or implement a plan, invest to end any worries, or get chores out of the way or out of your hair, with the Emperor reversed in need of help, or taking off from work, or maybe be retiring as well, the Queen of Swords upright in energetic exchange, with the 4 of Cups bored and wanting a change, dumping emotional attachments and dependent or powerlessness, the loss of independence, power, and money, or spending too much, or coming home to visit and perhaps spending a lot or making a big purchase there. Perhaps coming home to visit mom or to sister, or willing to invest a lot in finding peace or traveling with them. With workplaces blessing, submitting to destiny, good times, Libra upright, and Aries reverses. That flame's starting to jump again on the left. With workplaces blessing, submitted to destiny and good times, and I'm getting, again, dynamite from Jimmy and good times, Libra upright and Aries reversed, and that's so much my son, so that's so funny because he's going to be coming home to visit. Libra upright and Aries reversed as the North Node switches on July 18th, 23 through January 11th, 25, and the dates were coming up from freeastrology123.com. The Knight of Wands reversed, deception somewhat revealed, needing to come full circle or at night completing something. Taking a risk, uncomfortable dealing with emotions, as Cancer and Pisces, who's reversed, are taking their ability to leave away from them. Working to align at night, or romance as the Knight of Wands reversed is exhausted, or overtime with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy, and destined to school the golden goose, or hold, or told to shut up, something positive that keeps you in line when disconnect or distance, or don't agree with the Nine of Wands wounded warrior on guard at home, or someone to watch their stuff or pets while away. With Cancer and Libra upright, and Pisces, Sagittarius, and Scorpio reversed, Pisces or Virgo upright as well, and the Ten of Cups, happy family, or perhaps a Scorpio who's just really tired. With the King of Wands reversed, sticking out, as the world gets ready for Aries to take charge. Aries taking a rest prior to that, so now prior to July 18th is a rest period for Aries to conserve their strength for when Aries takes the lead. Six of Cups reversed and the King of Swords reversed in a falling out, sibling rivalry, or past returning here. Perhaps the jury's out on whether or not the King of Wands reversed and the King of Swords reversed are going to travel together, because they don't look real happy there. Two, the Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help, fighting or having to compete with the Knight of Wands reversed, or if a pet won't cooperate here. Lovers upright and Gemini, King of Swords reversed, dissatisfied and weak, or arrogant with a big ego when performing, or is juggling or playing with others' egos, Leo reversed and Saggy reversed. Or perhaps willing to take pets, or neighbor who will take your dog if you take theirs when they're away. Perhaps the King of Wands reversed drops out of line or lineup when they hear the King of Swords reversed is in there for the Page of Pentacles reversed and Knight of Wands reversed. Or Gemini and Capricorn wave, but Virgo reversed and fire signs duck down. Or the King of Wands reversed is upset, witnessing the King of Swords reversed getting drunk and driving. So again, witnessing someone drunk driving with or to get the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed. Again, so someone picking up their children and being witnessed driving drunk, or engaged in a fight and getting knocked down and right back up again. Or Muhammad Ali dancing like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And this could be, and my three sons is coming up here too, or all three sons siding with the mother, the Empress upright, with the Emperor reversed, who may be left holding the bag. One with an overinflated an ego, and other going crazy looking back, or gaslighting going on, as the Empress is upright and unaware of what the King of Cups reversed was doing behind their back, and he can be the Emperor, because the King of Cups reversed comes up as the Emperor all the time. So she may have been unaware what he was doing behind her back, or perhaps just didn't want to see it. Or Capricorn upright and Virgo reversed, going back to Taurus for peace of mind over the King of Cups reversed. Gemini, Cappy, Taurus, Cancer upright, but Virgo reversed here with lots of negative fire. And the three kings reversed, King of Wands, King of Swords, and King of Cups. But the King of Pentacles is upright, and the underlying energy is doing very well. Perhaps Gemini, Cappy, Taurus heading in together. Taurus and Capricorn with Virgo in chart, very earthy here. And Aries was free when the Knight of Swords came in, but later trapped, or the Queen of Swords had to do their thing. As the King of Wands reversed and or King of Cups reversed could be the Emperor reversed, or holding it over their head, or holding work over their head, the truth is destined to bring positive change, as the King of Swords may be the youngest or only child as well. And it doesn't mean they're young. They could be, a grandparent, but they could be the youngest child. The King of Pentacles upright, defenseless Capricorn or Virgo or Scorpio with Libra in chart or under their wing. As the King of Pentacles upright, the Queen of Pentacles reversed with Atlas between, and the King of Cups reversed with an outpouring of love while working and at the workplace from the Queen of Cups upright, as Atlas leaves the wounded warrior behind, with the truth setting them free in a divorce or break destined to get past the Knight of Wands reversed or player with wounded warrior victim mentality, or hit and run, never saw it coming, perhaps had blinders on, or somebody had their blinkers on. Taurus reversed, Libra upright, Chariot upright, Knight of Wands reversed, or Cancer upright and Sag reversed. I hope a pet did not get hurt, or not wanting them to leave and they pulled away to work into the night and get it done for the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, destined to check it off their list and disconnect from the wounded warrior. And I'm getting at last, homecoming or finally stable, finally welcomed home without all the drama at 320. The 3 of the Empress and the 20 of the wake-up call, or the 0 backing up the 32 of the journey with source support. So then we get into the new. I changed books right here, and that was on the 3rd. And I did this random mini deck read here, which is coming up next. Okay, and it's just organically pulled out, like in a story, with the underlying energy there, you see. And this was at 6:20 to 21. The underlying energy of the Knight of Wands, the Death card upright, and the Strength card upright, part lion, horse, and man. The Tyon connection, or tiger lioness. So the horse man is considered this tiger energy. Queen and ELO both came up. I wrote them at the top of the page. And the Centaur, so the Centaur and the Sphinx were coming up as the tiger and the lion. Right? The Centaur is half man, half horse, which is coming up as the tiger as the combination. And then the Sphinx, of course, is half human and lion. And Centaur and Sphinx is C and S, the Christos Sophia energy. The Centaur on the scent of the gold ore. The Centaur, center less 1. The 4 and the 5. The 4 elements is the ether. The gold is the center of the 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 10, which equals 1. The divine masculine centaur, the divine feminine center. The 28 and the 29 of the choice of path and the being present in the moment. And those 2 numbers come up in the Lenormand KIPPER deck, I think it is. As the masculine comes up as the 28 and the feminines come up as the 29 cards. The divine masculine centaur, divine feminine center, as the 28 and 29, the twin flame choice of path, and the reflection, the wait, the present for another, or being present for another moment. So again, you're waiting for the next present moment. The divine feminine and gifts, the directional pull, the Queen's Gambit. So of course now I had to break down Gambit. So the gam is a leg and also a pod, like the 698 pod. The whales and porpoises have pods, or gathering of whaling ships. A boy or hair that's on your head. Worms, as in the disease. Village headman, stuff, glue, and paste. Trees, grass, and flowers, the game, the winter, or the winter storm. Me, them, vulture, and condor taking advantage of another's demise or bankruptcy. Sorrow, bride, and groom, and step, or stepping over the broom. And bit is not just like a computer bit, but to spit. It's also something in the horse's mouth. The dime, or 12.5 cents. A small amount, a fraction of a second, part of the key that enters the lock. The gun, the coin, the piece, the binary digit. Any datum that may take on one of exactly 2 values. The unit of measure of entropy. The louse, the mouth guard, beat, charge, sun, beat, bite. They will be. The drill bit, the essence, until, point, meaning to be, a tune, duck, pen, pencil, writing, implement, or bolt of, and I guess that would be lightning with Zeus present. So, and bit mech also came up, and another mech came up, but I couldn't find it in definitions. So 2 mech words came up, bit mech and something else mech. I don't think it was bit mech. Could have been the same word. I don't know. But Gambit equals the pod. So, and again, I'm getting, when I got the pod for Gambit, I was getting the swirl, okay? So the winter storm, the bittersweet bride and groom, the gathering of the whales and the porpoises, or the whaling ships, the gathering of the cyclone, the twist, the directional pull to the center of it, straight from the horse's mouth, the key that clicks and opens hell's gate, one of 2 essences, spinning until bites or gears click into place. To open hell's gate is to open the pearly ones as well. The point to be, not to be. The pinworm. And again, this energy of my pin, which references the housing of the masculine and the feminine and the vacuum created within after the feminine collects the sun and feeds it to the masculine. The pin closes and creates the vacuum. And then as it gets used up, the pin falls open again to collect the sun again. But the worm also coming up again could be referencing the kundalini, but also somebody could be dealing with pinworms or having worms. The swirling ocean, the sub-mesoscale, coherent vortices are isolated, long-lasting types of eddies. And I call God Mr. Ed. So here we have swirling eddies and seawater that typically flow in opposite directions of Earth's rotation. And again, this energy coming up from sciencenews.org. Eddies swirl in the South Ocean between the tip of South America and Antarctica. The great currents are driven by wind, and the ocean mixing suck deep water from the North Atlantic down to Antarctica, where it rises to the surface and encounters the open air. And again, there's that energy of the truth just below the surface and about to come out. It exchanges carbon dioxide with air before it's pumped back below the surface to return north. So there's this brief period where the truth can come out of the water. The saddle points between the eddies is considered the unstable manifold. And again, there's that reference to the folding within. And the gyres, the gigantic basins that are the spanning swirls in each ocean. So there's 5 of them. But these are in the deep ocean at very slow pace. It literally takes 5 years to loop around. Forced by the winds. The biggest current is Australia and the circumpolar current west to east around Antarctica, greater than 2 kilometers deep and 100 wide. Whereas the El Niños is something totally different because it has to do with heat redistribution, not currents. So at 710 of the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune, the plastics in the gyres, or gyres, I'm not sure how they pronounce it, is like poop that won't flush down the toilet due to its buoyancy. So the sea is increasing in its acidic value due to the CO2 buildup. So the winds, they expect to intensify as the gyres or gyres speed up a little and become more unstable, more eddies, and slower than hurricane cloud swirl are something called von Kazman vortices, where the wind is diverted by the islands and the mountains or volcanoes. The lion's mane jellyfish came up here with tentacles up to 120 feet long. Where blue whales, the largest animals, are nearly 100 foot long, the lion's mane jellyfish tentacles up to 120 feet long, because they were showing something they found in West Australia, the siphonophone, which was 150 feet long. It was like a worm in the ocean. And that was from the NewYorkTimes.com. So it's like a siphonophone in West Australia that was 150 feet long. That was 4/14/20. So back to the Gambit, which equals pod and key, the 6, 7, 8, 9, and the community of the 10 of Pentacles, or the world, where the 6 is coming up as the eddy of the constant swirl of the crazy 8, the infinity symbol, and the 9 equals the gyres or the gyres, And I'm getting the gears again that are waiting to click into place. Together that make heaven on earth, right? For the 6 and the 9 to click into place, to make that 8 pod. And back to the centaur and the Sphinx, which is also the cent of 1 cent and also 100. And the OUR, which is the gold, on its way to Ohm, perhaps. And the Sphinx of the S of Sophia, or the sine wave, and the Phi of expansion and contraction are reflecting the middle. And then the NX of nixing something. And Nixon just came up. And the gyres and the eddies of the G and E, of the energy, of the swirls, the spirals. And the whispering bench of the giant talking tree saying, hey, you, A-U of gold. And R on the way to M or Ohm or us and Taurus. The sign of Phi and the NXE with 2 dots over the E, to hold, contain, learn, study, grasp, snatch, and fit, or nix it, to live without it, to urge, stimulate, and hurry without it. Or NXUSA, to plead without the USA, the sine wave reflection nixed, the centaur spies, and I spy came up in my cloud pics, so check that out. Centaur spies, Jesus dancing, and the dancing chromosomes, the crazy 8s, of half man and half horse, seeks half woman and half lion, a tiger he is. And again, the bit came up of 12.5, which references the 0.125 of the 1/8, which is the 2 1s leaning into each other, not a quarter of the way, but an eighth of the way each, for the 2 8s to be the crazy 8s dancing. The big gyres, or cardinal ring, to bend, curve, to fold, or ridge on the cerebral cortex of the brain. And the mutable eddies with fixed spaces between. So again, the space between the giants and the mutable eddies, the literal ones like us, spiraling. And how to bridge those together. So how to bridge the 9 and the 6, right? The 6 of our planet with the universal planets outside of us, and how to bridge the 6 and the 9 together. The Queen's Gambit, a sacrifice of herself to win, an opening remark, to sacrifice a pawn, which here comes up as her inner child, to gain advantage. And it's making me want to cry. Right? She had to give up her childhood because she's orphaned, but it also got her to great places. Right, to the outer superficial world, to sacrifice a pawn, her inner child, to gain advantage, doing what it takes to keep twisting until bites, or until it locks on and resonates, as close as possible with another without being taken over, without losing oneself. So again, here's that 0.9999 to infinity, the 11th hour, the 0 point, right? That moment before. You can keep getting closer to 0 as much as you want, but it will never end. You'll never get to the 0. Willing to give a pawn, but if you want the whole gambit, you must be willing to swap spit. So at the Knight of Wands upright, Death upright, and Strength upright, the Knight of Wands blocking the dark horse. So again, the Queen's Gambit coming up very significantly here. And also the Q, remember, can be the 2, and the G can be the 6. So I'm getting 26 here for the year of the 26, the Page of Wands. The Knight of Wands blocking the dark horse, whose horse is actually white, as the lion sticks their butt in their business, and the tiger and lioness with dark night between, to get past the blocks from early morn before sunrise to coin. At 7:58, the Chariot and the 4 of Swords, the 5D connection, to place the gold coin above their head, an awakening to the sunshine within your own knowing. So there are 3 cards here together of, I want to show this to you because I left it the way it was. All right, so here's this energy. So you see the gold coin above their head, right? So it's like the floating gold coin, which is a great achievement. and then the awakened one, and then the energy of the new moon or the deception, and that can be the eclipsing of the moon right now as well, below that. But it was coming up here as getting up before dawn, right? The early bird catches the worm, so to speak, as the worms came up all through this read. And again, that the gold, the gold. And there's 3 of them, 3 coins as they get bigger and they get smaller as you reach the top. I want to say king's top or king's stop. Where all roads lead home. Oh, it's so beautiful sometimes. All right, so the 7:59 is the moment before the 8. The 7 of the key and the 59 of the 11th hour, the 5 of swords of the conflict within. The solar eclipse past, hold on to your bootstraps, for awakening to Christ unity consciousness. Someone's hiding in the curtains. And Teddy was at that moment. He's got like the curtains always draped around his face. He's so cute. As the lobster hangs in suspension of the cliffhanger and the hanging man, with Saggy and Leo both upright here, and dark night Scorpio between, with Cancer reversed and Cancer or Pisces reversed, or fire with home advantage to water as Taurus steps down, and again to Aries as the North Node steps up in July. The 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands reversed, the assessment of worth and worry of taking it down, the constant gardener who can't sleep, who's defenseless to the energies coming in, of a group taking over or feeling attacked or ganged up on, as the 10 of Cups family, happy families upright with the High Priestess, or wanting to bridge to the quiet one, the sister, or the Pisces or Virgo, how to get into their head, dumping multiple emotional attachments, including the Page of Cups reversed, or that energy of rejection. Learning how to let go of everything, including your own children, so that they can come back to you, right? When you love something, let it go, right? If it comes back, it's yours, and if it doesn't, it never was, that saying. Learning how to let go of everything, including your own children, so they can come back to you on their own accord, their freedom. Perhaps feeling rejected, tossed out with the baby in the bathwater. A wake-up call or announcement about true and deep connection. The Ace of Cups upright and an offer of big love by coming clean, getting clean, or cleaning up the act or space, willing to invest it all to be free without a backup plan, knowing the wind will blow again in the right direction. The Knight of Swords charging in from behind, trying to catch up, in a bold move to be free together, hitting home and then taking off, one last delivery and then on the move, ascending to heaven on earth. The 10 of Pentacles destined with the wounded warrior at the gate, and again I remind you there's a place for all. As the Queen of Pentacles reversed in a losing battle with grief, loss, and regret, or hurting others' feelings, the Knight of Cups reversed is rejected and dumped, or moody and taking a load off. As the King of Pentacles reversed is getting their own stuff, they're getting their own stuff thrown back in their face from the 3 of Cups upright, celebrating a sudden event that is over, or perhaps southeast, or watching a drama together, or friends resisting sudden changes and offering a new passion project to the King of Pentacles reversed, who probably doesn't want it, but they're trying to get him to do it for them again. Issues at work with the Queen of Cups upright, with delays in starting over, presenting the truth to fallen angel, or about loss of patience, resting on break, meditating, 5D connection, laying to rest before the 6 of Cups upright, sweet love connection, at 8:24, the dancing of the 24 or the 24th pair of chromosomes. And again, referencing the twin flames. The Page of Swords reversed, not replying until completing a cycle of injustice, or silent until the Divine Feminine or Pisces or neighbor or world is willing to be fair in their perspective. The Queen of Wands is offering time, money, and effort to heal depression, perhaps with kids all over the place, or drained or sick, or Aquarius and Leo both reversed here, which are the same axis. Stars out of whack, or pinned down, or aching all over, the releasing of the devil, addictions, toxicity, the ball and chain of just the chains of Capricorn. With Hermit reversed coming out about ego death, to the Page of Wands and Knight of Pentacles coming home, or coming into union or the union station, with the Emperor reversed and the Queen of Swords upright, walking into that good night, or waving goodbye and good riddance to the devil, or watching Capricorn get to their car safely. So Cupid's arrows definitely came up. To be knighted was also coming up. Exhaustion. Sourcing the south to fatten someone up. The good human, Knight 0, good at space. 1 of 23, but 2-1. Again, this reference to the 24th. And sudden events of high vibe DNA back and forth, and lots of exchange of Cupid's arrows. And the 8 of Wands. And sourcing Sophia to the nth degree, Knight 0 in 1 of 2. And 3, or the high road of E, 2 of 1. So going back down the other way again. The Tower on high to the nth degree, the 8 of Wands and energetic exchange, or arrows of love. 'Tis a tad testy at 0 point. 3, 2, 1 of the leap and the highest tower, and high tower was coming up as well. Back and forth in the arrows of love. Sourcing to the nth degree, helping the human to fatten the game. 2 of 1 tower, high to the nth degree, with many bridges and arrows and merlins, which I showed you as that E coming up. The gentleman, lord and master, perhaps fattening the pot. And the poison rose came up. All right. And the next of the Hanging Man is the Hanging Man still showing. And next is like references. The next is someone being hung. And then the T on the cross of Jesus on the cross there. Let's see here. All right, so then I did this random SIRIAN deck pull. Okay, so it's just the SIRIAN Starseed deck organically pulled for story. And then the Rider-Waite mini deck, the full deck. So the underlying energy here, this was at 10:57, the Wheel and the 3 of Swords. And I finished the mini decks at 11, 17 to 18, which is the Star and the Moon. And then 19, I got a text from my son. And then at 11:22 to 23, the trash truck went by. So the energy and the underlying energy was of the Guidance, the Star reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, the 2 of Wands reversed, the King of Cups upright, and the Moon upright. So there could be a Cancer King of Cups right there. We also have Taurus energy upright, Aquarius reversed. But commitment energy, guidance, societal norms, religion, marriage, Taurus depressed, no light. As the Knight of Pentacles reversed is not the twin flame, or someone without options and stuck, with the King of Cups Cancer, or at the full moon, with Taurus upright, Cancer upright, and Aquarius reversed between. The Fool is free from the spotlight or under the radar, or released from bad or no reputation, of the wounded warrior dumping on the Queen of Cups upright, or overwhelmed by her. And again, I keep getting this energy of people getting triggered and then they leave and you don't see them, or that you don't hear from them for a while. But it's because they had to process the energy you brought them before they could come back to you again. So it's not just your twin, but the people that are dealing with you in your life. Stubborn, resistant Taurus with Aquarius in chart, refusing to choose a path with the King of Cups Cancer, or King of Cups at the full moon Eclipse. As the King of Pentacles, inner war to stretch and grow, or just grow up from frog to prince, and come out of the Mary Magdalene cave above the group, being accepted back into the group. Will, and this is where the royal family came up, Will, or Charles bring Harry back in, who's a Virgo, and William's Cancer at the 0 degree with Mercury Geminis, who still has Gemini in there, but he's really Cancer. Energy of Will finally free from having to defend his mother's honor, and Charles no longer having to defend Camilla's honor and Camilla's Cancer as well. And or Charles is also free from his bad reputation regarding Diana. The Queen was coming up here as the King of Pentacles is upright, stretching or reaching out to Virgo Hermit, coming out of their shell. The energy of Gemini and Prince Philip was coming up, and the Queen of Taurus, where they were chiming in. And Philip was coming up as depressed, that they gave Harry no options to choose a path, with the King of Cups Cancer, which references William, and the Queen of Cups Diana. Perhaps apologizing, this is Philip apologizing for her, this is the Queen apologizing for her Aries and Mercury and Mars Aquarius and Chiron ways. Words that would hurt her grandsons and her mother with their soft Cancer side. Hold on. In sharp and disconnected ways. All right, that would be the Queen. So she seems that she'd be Aries because it's the 21st, but she's actually Taurus. But she has that sharp energy of Aries in Mercury, in her Mercury, which is the way she speaks, and then her Mars is Aquarius, which can be very detached. So the Queen Taurus is Capricorn rising and Moon Leo, which is very similar to Charles because he's Scorpio with Leo rising and his Moon in Taurus. His ascendant and Pluto are both in Leo, so that's very much his guidance of Leo, but it's not his nature or his personality. Dreamy in love, very much so, with Venus and Neptune in Libra. So very much that's his, dreamy in love energy. But also his Uranus and snappy Gemini, which could get really impatient, which is his frustrated side. Or the King of Cups fiery Cancer here and Queen of Cups Scorpio, or vice versa. The wounded warrior dumping on the Queen of Cups, or triggered by her and yet a need to defend her at the same time. I don't know if it's here or if I'm going to come in again with more about the royal family. I think it is on the next page. But Philip made me cry. He feels really bad about the situation with Harry. And I looked this up about the relationship with the others. And, Philip apparently was very good about welcoming all the others into the family because he felt like that at one point. But there was also a point where things would get too much, where then, of course, he would ultimately always defend his wife and the crown. So the Queen of Cups is upright with the Tower and spirits connecting with me, and the sudden events with the Page of Wands reversed and their hands tied, with the Page of Swords reversed, and synchronicities or too many options or unknown factors, with the Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, imprisoned by each other, feeling overwhelmed by the heaven in their eyes, or the Queen of Cups blowing their minds, their crowns, their tops of the young ones, or with triggering messages. Yet it's like candy for them in a candy store, and they must have more at 12:11. Okay, so again, others needing space from you to process. And then the royal family coming up here too. I just want to note that so I know what to post. I'm getting Philip as the light, right? The light bulb is coming up. 12:11. In a heated exchange, and just so you know too, Charles is Scorpio, Anne's Leo, Andrew's Aquarius, and Edward is Pisces. So Ed comes up, and also, like I said, George comes up, William's son. So, we're past the eclipse now. So the eclipse is supposed to be done in my area by 3:31, and it's 2:34 now. So we've passed the middle of it, which was at 1:22 or 1:23, 1:22:59, the 11th hour. In a heated exchange on constant delays or just refusing to tell, to find peace when information of secret passion throws them off balance. Needing to leave quietly to find peace, or for family or kids to leave or travel, taking the Six of Swords, but able to dump 2 of those swords before needing to use their intuition to find balance again. So they're finding like how much they can take before they have to walk away and ground and integrate before coming back again. with rabbit ears exposed while trying to hide, with boots and butts, and the constellation Boots coming up here again, whose nickname is Boo, and again the herdsman. Boots and butts, and there's the herdsman of the ear, right, hearing, where they don't belong, or benched, or no privacy on the whispering bench, needing peace of mind to tap into their intuition, right? So having a hard time connecting when they're around a lot of people. At 12:17, and the birds were chirping. So there's, and I'm getting, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? So again, there's that energy of being like candy, like they can't handle it, so they walk away, but they have to return to get some more. There may be interference in public, again, in your connection. Digging out the crown with sword down deep in an upside-down V formation. Trimming dead branches of a tree, or undercutting peace with words to clarify. But where is the love, the love? With Cancer, Queen of Cups, and that can reference Diana as well, with Pisces reversed in chart, or with them, or Pisces energy with them, at the full moon lunar eclipse. The water signs are very affected, especially Pisces here, or water having a hard time tapping in to their connection. With the first card here being the Wheel of Destiny, with the Five of Cups reversed, the Lovers reversed, and Justice reversed. And a lot of air right there. Destined to sadness. And Camilla was coming up here. She is Cancer, but her life lesson number is 45, which is the grieving card. Which you know, she spent her whole life waiting for Charles. But this is her lesson, is the learning how to deal with sadness and the purge. Destined to sadness without being affected. And Libra in chart. And again, that's that energy of Charles's Venus and Neptune and that love between them. The injustice of the lovers kept apart. And the Knight of Wands reversed, destined to be the King of Pentacles, or Libra Earth, with Sagittarius, Mars, and Jupiter, and the Knight of Cups loving son of the Hierophant. And again, the Hierophant would reference the Queen as Taurus. And Taurus Leo, which they both had, and or marriage and kids, with the Knight of Wands reversed and Knight of Cups upright on the stairway to heaven, appointed by God to sit in their position or their appointed rounds. As the Knight of Wands wounded warrior on guard, Temptation or Taurus and Capricorn wave, the Queen's wave, QE2. And notice the Queen's wave is a sine wave. The Taurus, Leo moon, and Capricorn rising here. The Queen defending her son, first her husband. The King of Swords is coming up as them both. So even though he's Scorpio, he comes up very much as like a Virgo energy, Charles does. But so Philip's coming up first. He is Gemini, 610, which is my mother's and my grandfather's birthdays. So very Gemini. But she's coming up here defending first her husband as Philip, and her son, the King of Swords, has been through a lot of pain, guarding his wounds for a long, long time. Because remember, Charles is a very introverted person. As the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, we're coming up as Kate and Meghan here, have learned their lessons about depression and how to free oneself with big downloads to the crown. And again, Andrew and Edward could also be coming up as being depressed there, as the younger brothers not taking the crown. With issues at work, with facing their worst fears, or perhaps worried about Charles being the king as their brother, and the Six of Cups upright, Charles and Philip defending love and children first. The Ten of Cups upright, family and patience for a higher love. Also Philip saying that he's on guard this week, and there could be a wink. So this is both the Queen and the King saying they will be present at the coronation, and that Charles may notice a wink, or maybe one of the kids will. But Philip is winking at them. And that's when I cried. At 12:44, the Hanging Man, and the 44 of Hercules. Right? So Charles being hung out to dry, and the 44 of her harvest, which is, the social work and learning how to ground and integrate receiving love after being shunned. As the loving parent, not their royal position. So this is Philip and The Queen not coming in as their royal positions, but as the parent. Sending love to all of his babies and their husbands and wives and families. This is from Philip specifically, but the Queen was being there too. But he's being more familiar, like he was, and giving a wink to the couple. So, and again, because he knows where you've been. But and again, he was crying, which is why I cried. So the Tower and the Emperor come up here with 5-4, because that was the date yesterday. As we get to the next message, and this is the Wild Unknown Tarot as opposed to the Oracle, and then the Lenormand Kip mixed with the Lenormand Reverie mixed with the Kipper deck. This is the second deck, and then my Wild Unknown Oracle cards, the Animal Oracle cards, and then my half deck of Rider-Waite. I'll pull them in a little bit so you can see the cards better. Okay, so I'll do this side first, and then this side over here. Okay. All right, so this one was done yesterday, 1:27 to 30. We're at 2:40 minutes. I'm sure this is going to be 3 hours, which is fine. You don't have to watch it all at one time. So I'll try to put the markers of all the different reads since there's so many of them. And if you want to do that yourself, that's fine too. So at 1:27 to 30 is the 27 of the Ace of Wands, the 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, and 4 of Wands of the Union. As the numbers at the end of the decks came up to 1312 and 324110, in the transition to wisdom and the journey of the Holy Grail, or to love destined, transition of the masculine and feminine, and the Empress and the Omega of the Queen of Wands, the Omega, or the 24th pair of chromosomes, and alignment with the 0 point field, source backing them up. At 136, in the leap to the Atlas energy and the map of intent, the underlying energy of the 9 of Cups reversed, of the 21 in the family room, of the fire ant, but I was also getting the fine arts. I was getting like on a cruise ship, fine arts. And that might be advice for someone, that you would sell your work on a cruise ship. The Knight of Cups reversed, and the 21 of the family room, the fire ants, and the King of Wands reversed. Dissatisfied alone in the family room, watching swirling eddies. The wound of the King of Wands reversed. The King of Wands spiraling out of control, or perhaps dizzy, or watching the ants make a hole at 139. And that the ant people could be coming up as well, because they come up a lot with Michael Sala and JP. The underlying energy of the loving children, the soul ties and siblings, the twin flame truth presented in crazy 8 formation as the Kundalini wraps around not once, but twice. That they are not meant to be alone, for even the tree has its roots to reflect with. The first card here of the Tower and the tree broken. And before I read tree broken, I was going to get tree anyway. As soon as I said Tower, I was getting... what did I say before? What's his name? Well, anyway. Oh, Hightower. So Hightower's coming up, but also have a neighbor whose nickname is Tree. He was coming up as well. But just a very tall person. Or this tower, and maybe the ant people are tall, but they just came up. But there may be a tree that's broken, or hit by lightning, or a sudden crowning, but again, the coronation's coming up tomorrow, or blowing the crown. As the 7 of Cups is upright, dumping 1 cup and keeping 6, and that's interesting too, because that came up with the 7 sisters as well, as the Queen of Wands plus the 6 sisters, because the Queen of Wands is the Omega, and is also 24 is also a reference to the Pleiades. As the moon is eclipsed with a twist, a fall or slowing or sudden realization, you don't have to dump all 9. Dumping 4, or 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which equals 10, which equals 1, means you can just dump 4, or 1 is all I need. Or stopping the falling of 9 at 6, as 1 is stuck in suspended animation in flux. With Scorpio upright and Libra reversed, and the 6 of Cups between, with 1 held in limbo, if able to really take in the moment. Okay, so here's the Six of Cups, and then that seventh cup is upside down, but it is frozen in time. And there's that 11th hour, that 0 point energy of the inner and outer children being together. The energy then of the cards at the end is the uncomfortable emotion of the bat's awakening to one flame and a parting of the waves of the Three of Wands and the Three of Wands, two sides presenting the true gift. And I was just getting the true Hollywood story of 29 and 29 equals 54 today, which was yesterday, the Page of Swords, which also is typically for me Gemini. And the 29 that Amanda referenced as Charles and Will come to play right here, of Charles and Will presenting the flame, because then George comes up as the third in the middle. Seeing the forest through the trees, Prince George. George, George, George of the jungle, made for you and me. Ah, watch out for that tree. So Mars, and this is his energy coming up. He's got no fire in his chart. He has, I think, one thing was in fire, but that was it. Oh, his Uranus is in Aries, which could be kind of scary, right? So he's no fire at all, but that's like sudden events. And in Aries, which is crazy, like headstrong, going head first. So there's this energy of this love muffin that all of a sudden out of nowhere will be like Tarzan and, crashing into a tree. It's really cute. So Prince George and George of the Jungle, July 22nd, 2013 is his birthday. He is Cancer, not Leo. And his and the day adds up to 35, which is his life lesson number, which also just in single digits would be 17, or the star energy. Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon, ascending Scorpio, with Venus in Virgo, which is not an ideal placement for Virgo, it's very detached, and Uranus in Aries, and Neptune in Pisces, which is a great connection. So he's very dreamy, and that's really positive for him. Mars, Mercury, and Jupiter all in Cancer for him. Pluto is Capricorn, so very responsible. And then the North Node in Saturn, Scorpio, or the Saturn and North Node both in Scorpio. And Chiron in Pisces, which is what I have as well. Mid-haven is Virgo, and then, again, like I said, no fire except for Uranus and Aries. Watch out for that tree. As Pisces and or Capricorn reverse, step down for the flame to immerse. As I don't know what's going on with William and Charles, but they're guiding you to George. The Eight of Wands, Hydra pinwheel, in 7 heads and color my world. Perhaps sleeping dogs lie, but this cat is wide awake, with an eye on all in a devious way, behind the King of Cups, as the bull is taken down in a painful ending to make way for the King of Cups. And again, this is coming up when in the changing of the guards, when Taurus moves to Aries North Node. And here we have the King of Cups of Charles with his ascendant moon, his moon in Taurus and his ascendant in Leo. And his moon is Taurus. So it's saying the bull is taken down in a painful way. So I don't know if he's going to get sick or something and he can't perform his duties. So then Will steps up or something like that. The Nine of Wands and something about eyeballs and worms. And the Fool reversed. So some kind of foolish behavior. This could be a lack of faith as well. The little one. And this also could be the little one with foolish behavior. But I don't feel like the little one gets hurt. Perhaps someone gets hurt because of the little one's foolish behavior. Or again, this energy of cutting the worms, right? When you cut a worm in half, they just grow right back. A war within for sovereignty. The Nine of Pentacles upright. Without lover in surrender, or a fall on the stairs. Okay, so that could be so many different situations coming up. And again, Camilla could be in there as well. And he will always be devoted to her first. at 2:16, which is the Lovers, and then the 16. Like I said, his guiding star in his lifetime was to become the leader, but it's not his personality. He's so dreamy in love. So the 2 and the 16, the Tower and the High Priestess are the Queen. And at 2:16, the Tower, and being present in the moment with the 4 of Wands reversed and the 10 of Wands reversed, and the instability of the move. I wrote the move, but I wrote movie by accident. So the movie is something. I don't know if somebody makes a movie about them. Present in the moment, and the instability of a move or visit or movie or house that needs a lot of work and need to dump all their responsibilities and or confess to the Page of Cups, perhaps about a deception of the High Priestess or Cancer reversed and Pisces or Virgo upright, or coming together to take a load off from a distance with the King of Swords upright, or gift of child's arrival or homecoming. At 2:21 is the Divine Feminine or Higher Self, and the 21 of the World, but it looks like a 4 there, which is that Lambda Leap, but also can reference the Masculine and the Feminine. The underlying energy of the 32 of the Journey, and the King of Cups, 37, with timelines here. And his journey of despair, or the pair, perhaps he had to change his plans or cut them short, as the 9 of the Hermit and or change in itinerary, with changes. And again, he's very much, even though he's not Virgo, to me, he always has seemed like a hermit, with the changes. So changing their itinerary, or the Hermit with changes, and 28 or Twin Flame is expecting them. Or Virgo choice of path as and again, Harry's Virgo choice of path as the King of Wands stands up to the little critters' messes, or perhaps now cleans up his own messes. Or the King of Wands is a Cancer pup, demanding that the 10 of Cups take them for a walk, but the Queen of Wands, Cancer or Saggy may snap, or an animal may bring something toxic into the house, or worms, or pissed when left alone and may act out and perhaps do something stupid. So the 12 here is the Hanging Man with the 7 of Pentacles wise pair reaping rewards of the treetop. So again, here comes Rockabye Baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. And down will come baby, cradle and all. And again, there's a big wound right there. The 15 of the Polar Bear pushing the loving woman who's present with the truth and gifts, or gifted, and the Bird in Pisces and or Capricorn pushing them to use their gifts. The 12 of the Wise or Pisces privileged lady with Cancer little girl and or child, or perhaps child expected around 12:18 or 12:27. Perhaps there's some risk here, or new passion, flame letter, or getting a letter, a message, or creative writing, or document, or death and or legacy here, or opening a whole new can of worms, or exhuming a body. So someone's body may get exhumed, or opening cold case files here and jumping on it. At 2:32, at the High Priestess and the Journey of the 6 of Wands, and root 232 is coming up as well, which for me, around me, is a route to new hope. So there's new hope here. And the underlying energy was Scorpion with their stinger out, as the crocodile smiles. Oh, I was just getting Charles with the U.S. president. And I was getting this energy of the Scorpion trying to make the other feel guilty, but the other one just smiling back at them. With Scorpio versus the crocodile, and there could be a reference to reptilian energy there, as hummingbird whispers in the crocodile's ear, "You're a butterfly, and butterflies are free to fly, so fly away, bye-bye." As the snake comes full circle, raising vibrations, even of reptilians, in the collective awakening, the event happens, the wound, the accident, the performance, and the coronation. As the bee, the wolf, and the whale, the hive, the pack, and the pod. As the bee is watching the ants collect, And that could literally be dealing with your aunts in the royal family. And the queen bee, that is, to Scorpion, ascendant Leo, in wise pairing, Camilla perhaps. The King of Swords upright with Capricorn mother, because she's Capricorn rising, who pushed his love out of the way. The wolf is now mesmerized and hypnotized and won't leave their side. And the whale is exhausted, as the wolf and the whale can't believe what they see, the collective drawing in. And how can this be? As the cheetah is about to pounce on the little one, or kid's foolish behavior, the world, the Page of Pentacles, and the devil, as the world is invited to something that's too tempting to miss, i.e. the coronation, with the High Priestess, Capricorn, Pisces, and or Virgo, or swearing in at the coronation without a choice, dissatisfied, or some arrogance here with the King of Pentacles freeing the Empress, or the fools in love who don't like to be apart. At 250, the High Priestess and the Ten of Cups, happy family or event or gathering, celebration. As the Page of Wands, perhaps Aries, Taurus, to Justice and Libra, with the Page of Swords, Gemini on their side, or word of divorce of Taurus, Libra, and Gemini here, and the Queen of Pentacles with Dark Knight facing the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands, and the Emperor Magician, or Aries, and Gemini or Virgo not doing well, or really stressed, or suddenly ill and the doctor steps in, or Hermit reversed, King of Wands reversed, maybe going crazy or coming out about what they've been through. And again, that could reference Harry. I don't know his whole chart, but he is Virgo, and she's Leo. With the Queen of Cups upright and the King of Swords upright and the Page of Cups upright, or someone's pregnant here, or puppy love, as the King of Wands reversed may be upset or not well, and the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords being very good together, with the Page of Cups sending a very loving message, or again, the reference to puppy love and Charles and Camilla. The Queen of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Wands here. And for out of the blue, Mary, Queen of Scots came up. And I know there's some significant Scottish connection to us. And I've actually, like, I don't know, 30 years ago, I have a connection personally to Mary, Queen of Scots. Not in my 3D lineage, but I'm in a past life energy. So the Queen of Swords, King of Cups, and the Nine of Wands, and Mary, Queen of Scots, came up with the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups surrounding. Perhaps the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups with representation, or don't agree on what should happen with a child here. With the Six of Cups upright and the Nine of Pentacles upright. And by the way, guys, if you know anything about Mary, Queen of Scots, or the Scottish connection to what I'm talking about, please put it in the comments. The Knight of Pentacles is upright with the Knight of Swords as well, and the Chariot upright with the Knight of Cups upright. All these knights, and again the coronation energy of 3 knights in a chariot, and the Two of Cups reversed. Happy, sweet loves, again that Six of Cups, of the happy, sweet lovers, the inner children, but as adults not liking to be out in public. This also could be referencing a single mother now. So I don't know if something happens to someone. The Knight of Pentacles faces the Knight of Swords upright on a move, a trip, or ascension to the Knight of Cups, an offer of love from a distance, or wanting to make up. At 3 o'clock or 3:06, which can be the mother and the family, or the lover and space between them, right, being kept apart. And remember, Charles and Camilla do not like to be apart. So this could be something that couldn't be helped. Maybe someone needs their attention or something like that. So then we have, see, all this good stuff coming up, huh? And then we have this one here. So another random read. This is a SIRIAN Starseed deck with the mini deck clarifiers, okay? So this was at 4:44 yesterday afternoon. And this came up, I was listening to Matthias a bit on Aubrey Marcus, which I don't usually listen to, but I'll listen to Matthias once in a while, Di Stefano. the underlying energy came up here with the 444, which is the angelic realms, with karma or judgment upright, indigo reversed, abundance reversed, the hanging man reversed, and the 7 of swords reversed, leading to the king of swords, who is upright here, and then the king. The king of swords very much represents the king. The underlying energy of karma and a wake-up call or a decision of the magician and the empress, both reversed, in the manipulation of the empress reversed with a big ego or insecure and comes off as an ego, but without tools to deal with something, or in lack, in awakening and coming clean or cleaning up their act, to or for the king of swords, or perhaps cleaning up their mess or their reputation, perhaps. In a wake-up call for Gemini or Virgo reversed, Taurus reversed, Capricorn or Pisces reversed, to get their act together for the king of swords upright, or judgments in his favor. Perhaps there's an Aquarius here. This also can reference Aquarius leading the way. And dropping the ball, the act, the pattern of the Knight of Pentacles offering help. A loyal service to the Knight of Cups reversed, who may not be feeling the love until they up the ante to the Ace of Pentacles and show it to them closer or bigger. The juggler dropped 2, or their daily rounds or grounds, to make, again, the daily grind, to make an offer to just one, no matter what it takes. The secret passion triggering them with epiphanies, blowing their top, their mind, and their crown, desperate to work together, will carry the weight, no matter how uncomfortable the emotions get, in the 698 pod. And this is coming up as the mailman's appointed rounds. Or someone who owes will pay in installments until it's paid off. Also could be a real proposal with big emphasis on this stone, needing to see it up close, magnified, or a crystal ball. Perhaps the King of Swords has been a little bit sneaky lately, or a sneaky little shit was coming up actually, at 512, which is the Hierophant and the Hanging Man. So again, remember, when people are sneaky about surprises, often the target misconstrues their actions into something being bad. So be careful about that, because that could be that stupid behavior or childlike behavior. The Aquarius is upright, Gemini reversed, Pisces or Capricorn reversed, and Virgo or Taurus reversed right there. Where the first card next is at 512, the Hierophant and the Hanging Man. The wheel is reversed with a twist of fate. The world right side up, and the cycle complete, and just waiting for the turn of events to unfold. As the Divine Feminine with Libra in their chart, or Pisces unable to implement a plan in the downturn, or interim, or breakup, or slowing things down, again that suspended animation energy, when overwhelmed or triggered, to see each step in suspended animation or replay, stopping at each frame to better understand. After some foolish behavior, watching the fall, replaying a mistake over and over again, or Aries and Libra both reversed, getting ready to take over, as the Nine of Swords upright and Reflection reversed, or the Hermit. They can't get it out of their heads, circling again and again, hiding underground and not showing their face. The Hermit or Virgo reversed, with the 10 of Cups upright, happy family supporting the patient angel, or them bridging to a higher love. And Bridgerton was coming up as well. All right, and my battery's not working right, so hopefully we won't die before I'm finished. It's plugged in, but it doesn't show that the plug is working right. Perhaps Sagittarius with Virgo in their chart, when it all came down. All right, so when I said that rock right there, a Shasta rock, fell down. When you see it, it looks like the 10 Commandments rock. It fell down, and then the card flipped out on it was the Ace of Swords, the sword and the stone. Very significant. When it all came down, the Shasta rock fell, the 10 Commandments, the tablet that broke into 1,000,000 pieces, a slab of rock, cement, as the truth is laid down, taking the cake and the crown, refusing to lay down to someone else's rule book, the sword in the stone, just say the quote-unquote word. As the Page of Wands is excited to release anxieties and conflict, with the King of Cups upright, letting them back in. At 532, the journey of the Hierophant, or to freedom and expansion, and at last, as the King of Swords is upright in a slump and fell into a dream, or spin, overwhelming, sweating it out, chewed up and spit out, over isolating, going out of their mind, after a happy ending with patience or bridging. And again, like I said, Bridgerton came up. That's the one with King George. That's a new series that came up. After a happy ending with patience or bridging to that higher love, or Saggy with Virgo in their chart, the truth is, as the walls come down, etched in stone, coming out of hiding with crown on a silver platter, happily conceding as the Page of Wands upright took the fall for the King of Cups so that he could regroup, recover, or take people in again. As the Queen of Swords reversed, and in the King George series, he's got anxiety issues, like he's got nerve issues where he goes into some kind of kind of mental break, but it's nervous oriented, like they can bring him back out of it if they do the right things to him. But it comes up to me as anxiety issues. The Queen of Swords reversed, unable to sleep, all stressed out or suffering in silence, perhaps headaches or nightmares, or clinging to self, or happy to get 4 hours sleep, getting over and again, this is this energy of taking the thorned crown off of the feminine's head to break their chains, but not taking it away from them, taking it off their head and handing it to them, that it is their choice whether they want to break their chains or still hold on to them. Getting over the loss, the regret of being dumped, with no affection, with the King of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Cups upright together and happy. Or the King of Swords with Libra reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, Virgo or Gemini reversed in chart, breaking up to end the fight, with the Queen of Swords reversed struggling over the King of Pentacles and Queen of Cups being happy together, with the Six of Wands reversed and the Seven of Pentacles upright, and failure being a fate worse than death for the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles reversed under the radar, the Divine Feminine in the E-Tower reaping rewards out of the spotlight, as the King of Swords upright failed to end her pain, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed is needy or with a bad reputation or got a bad rap, or the King of Swords is upright, cutting off her free ride. And now I get him saying, at last, at 5:55, a whole lot of change. Or the King of Swords wants a massage, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed is not willing to give him that kind of attention. Or this can reference an ego massage as well. At 5:57 and the Knight of Cups reversed, rejected, jealous, or present to the Hermit, Queen of Swords reversed, losing their mind, or scorned and lashing out. As the King of Swords is claiming he made multiple offers she wouldn't take. As the Three of Swords separation and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, powerless or dependent. The Page of Swords reversed had a falling out with the Knight of Cups reversed, and the past now returns, or they're just missing each other. I was just getting the missing link as well. The Queen of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, mother and child, or siblings going through a hard time, or broken hearts. With the Strength card upright, birthing through the Ring of Fire, breaking free of all restrictions and any residuals, seeing synchronicities in heaven in their eyes, knowing without knowing, in the tiger's rebel yell, comin' for the lioness, and the injustice of manipulation of the court system perhaps, an announcement, a call, a wake up to injustice of the Queen of Wands reversed, with Fire or Virgo reversed, and Libra reversed, with Aquarius upright here, or received a call from the courts that a date has been set, as the Page of Cups is reversed, and the injustice of rejection, the Nine of Cups upright and the Devil reversed, getting their way and detoxing out of control child or pet, or now home with the Emperor reversed. With the Capricorn, Leo, Aries all reversed, or perhaps a child not responding to their parents and staying now with the grandfather. With the Page of Cups reversed and the Emperor reversed, perhaps helping each other out. With the Five of Cups reversed, getting over a death or end, or constant exhaustion, or near-death experience, ayahuasca, or dark night of the soul, out of the woods, and again, going to grandmother's house is coming up again, out of the woods, but dependent or powerless, in disconnect or distance, in spending too much or a big purchase. I was getting shares as well, or their fair share. Or the Queen of Cups reversed, Pisces and Scorpio reversed, missing each other, or just rejected female trying to reconcile within herself the disconnect and or distance, and surrendering to come clean about their spirituality, or a divorce, or heartbreaking energetic exchange without peace, for the Page of Cups reversed. And that could be someone who was rejected, or someone who, it could be a baby crying constantly. It could be someone being called a crybaby. It can be the spoiled child who's whining all the time. But the Nine of Cups is upright, getting their wish of a rest or break and 5D connection, and standing up to others, or now having someone in their corner. With the time at the beach and taking steps, and again the energy of the bullfight. And it was that's so weird, because Teddy was playing with me like the bull yesterday. He likes to snort like the bull and swing his head back and forth. He does a very good bull. But the bullfight was coming up here. At 6:27, the Lovers and the Ace of Wands, after standing firm with I'm getting the firm as well. After standing firm with an offer of passion, unwilling to back down, the wounded warrior surrenders or gives up to ending pain or a painful end, and or massage, and remember that may be massaging someone's ego, and knocked for a loop with the past returning, wanting to start over with the Page of Pentacles reversed, who may need help or is uninvited, being strong and taming the beast in a bold move, to the King of Wands reversed, the Empress reversed, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, dysfunctional family, business, or community, or legacy, and the deception about the Three of Cups reversed, which could be a third party or bad influences or gossipers, and overworking or not working out and reaping rewards, and daydreaming what if, or if not, or not wanting to share when the Knight of Swords comes rushing in. What if they're not enough, and the Knight of Swords charges them? As the Six of Cups, and again there's that energy of charging money-wise, but also the bull charging them. As the Six of Cups is reversed, wide awake of the need to come together. And I did a quick couple cards of the fortune deck, which I'm not going to show you. I don't have that picture, but I tell you each card. It's just a few cards. At 6:37, the Lovers and the King of Cups. So the Snake with the 28, shedding their skin. The 10 of the Fire and the 9 of the Eagle, which is Libra and Virgo, which are the middle two signs of the zodiac. And the 28 being the twin flames and the choice of path. Libra and Virgo and the 23 Owl. The King of Wands transitioning their goals to the 13 and then 14 of Judgment. Peace for those patient angels. Death and rising of the 33. The Unicorn magic if you just believe. The 26 of the Page of Wands taking off or to other planes, and the 31 to remove the crown of thorns and break the chains once and for all of the 35 wounded warrior, surrendering to their heart's desire. The Empress, just be careful who you trust at this time. In a painful fall into each other's arms, starting over with no offer and being strong, or perhaps caring for a pet, or charging the King of Wands, the Empress, and the Knight of Wands, all three reversed. A healthy sum just to get up early and get rid of crap and make things neat again, without breaking down the charges, not sharing equitably, so all can see and be honest or honestly. At 6, I honestly love you is coming up. 6:56 is the Lovers and the Two of Swords. So the last read on the docket I'm getting, so there's definitely some court issues going on. Again, the SIRIAN Starseed deck coming out organically and then clarified with the Rider-Waite Mini. The underlying energy, it was started at 9:38 to 39, which is the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and the 9 of the Hermit, or the endings, the one and the all. The underlying energy of the Queen of Pentacles, and this is a pretty short one. The Queen of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands upright, the Queen of Wands reversed, Alchemy, or the Temperance card, upright, the 5 of Pentacles and 8 of Pentacles reversed, the 5 of Swords upright with Karma upright, the Knight of Wands upright, Abundance upright, or the Empress, and the Higher Self reversed. So the Queen of Pentacles is upright and burdened by the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps a fallen angel or someone with a bad temper, coming out of her cave above the group, overworking, not working out, or the internal struggle of karma and judgment, and the Knight of Wands with abundant secrets and passions. In the quest for secret passion, temptation, fully exposed or energizing the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups, with Pisces reversed, Capricorn and Leo upright, the King of Pentacles and Queen of Wands both reversed in a wake-up call, a new perspective. As the Queen of Wands reversed is hanging out with the Queen of Pentacles upright, holding back an announcement that would be very painful to face, with new information knocking them off balance and overwhelmed or triggered, pushed to their emotional limit, with the Nine of Pentacles upright and the Four of Pentacles reversed at 10:38, which is the destined energy of the, I might go out because the battery for some reason isn't showing it's charging. The Sovereign and the Divine Masculine coming out of the cave, needing clarity on third party and or bad influences here, not working after too much and exhausted, efforting tirelessly implementing a plan. With Flame reversed, frustrated putting out 8 and only getting back 5, defenseless to energies or attack and destined to energetic exchange with no peace and no lovin', as the King of Wands is with the Page of Cups, or a loving message freeing the Knight of Wands and vice versa, or love and passion and depression of the King of Cups, surrendering to all that is with the Page of Wands, withholding heart issues without a choice. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of wealth, and the Six of Cups, children, bored, so they're going to school or sending out invites, as the Page of Pentacles and Knight of Cups, constant offerings to the King of Swords, wanting to rest and meditate or just be by themselves, to be on break in 5D connection with the Chariot upright. And coming in fast at 10:54, and there's the Winged Messenger. Under the radar, getting over a loss at home, with the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands upright, the Empress upright, seen by the Hermit, advisor or doctor, and the Ten of Cups happy family, as the King of Wands is between the Emperor reversed and the Empress upright, the Hermit with light, going the distance through the night, and again the mailman's code, the full moon eclipse and the King of Pentacles reversed, the juggling Fool, the Five of Cups reversed and the Ten of Pentacles upright, blocked by the Knight of Pentacles reversed, getting over a loss, regret, or stubbornness, as the Three of Cups reversed is a burden or discomfort, and the need to be strong, with no reunion, and third party and bad influences around, and the loss of 3 with 2 right in front of them, the Montagues and the Capulets, and mixing families and separate residences, the full moon and no point, and surrendering to come clean about divorce and unhappiness being alone. As the King of Cups is frustrated and without faith, letting go to fix things or make amends, stressed out, and investing what little they have left in being a loving man. As the Two of Cups is upright, depressed when not sharing with Sovereign, or about the inequity, the connection that's uneven, with the Two of Cups upright, the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles upright, a gift, the Page of Swords reversed without words, and justice or mediation of the Page of Swords reversed and the Magician reversed, and Libra upright, and Gemini or Virgo reversed, seeing synchronicities, are now with options of a higher love, to start a new life at 11:20 of justice for all in the wake-up call. Also, the underlying energy was present that turned the world upside down, with sudden surprise, mind-blowing, and issues at work. And that could be a third party through work as well. So it could still go out at any second right now. So I'm just going to do a quick energy deck card, see what comes up, just to wind things up. It's 318, going on 31818, which would be 2 moons and the Empress. As we have the eclipse today, which is just about over. It's 319 on my clock, which is the Empress and the Sun. So we have the Sun and the Moon, right? Because the focus has been on the Moon, not on the Sun, because it has to do with the Earth and the Moon today. And the Sun's coming back out now. Because the eclipse is over, we can pay our attention back on the Sun again. What is the message to take away from all this? And all these changes in Cancer energy and the Moon energy. The 23, all tied up, playing coy, the King of Cups. Oi, oi, I'm getting. Oi, oi, ay, ay. Capitan is coming up again. And third, I don't know, somebody, maybe, maybe Camilla calls Charles her Capitan or something like that. I don't know, I'm getting that energy. But we have the 30 of the home and union. And again, playing hide and seek. Again, someone who's scared to come out of the house, but coming off like they're playing it coy or cool, but they actually have anxiety issues. The 30 of the home and the King of Wands, right? The man of passion is supposed to be strong, beyond control, and yet may have anxiety issues. And again, very much coming up as the king in the show of the Bridgerton series. So this energy, and this could also be two girls, you know, one who's, you know, kind of sexually out there and you worry about her in that sense. And then here's the other little girl who's afraid to go out of the house, but she could be daddy's little girl and always loving. That kind of energy could be coming up as well. But we have the King of Wands and the home, the union, and the bottom of the deck is the 47, the 4 to 7 crown, the heart to crown, and the thinking woman following her bliss, the butterfly here, and big transformation, and perhaps opening a book to a random page. But you notice it's open on two sides here, or it looks like it is anyway. That could be her hand on the other side. But I was just getting it open on two sides, like the page is straight up in the air and the book out on both sides. That might be a specific message for somebody. And again, that's the energy of the bookends in the middle. Someone who likes to read the end of the book first. The 37 of the King of Cups, the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, the solar plexus, having confidence and unconditional love and doing their own thing, right? Without worrying about what the other person does. And again, you have the two girls here. Again, anxiety issues or just someone playing coy. Their hands are tied at home with the girls or daughter. And then here we have the 14 of the higher love, the angelic realms, the caring connections, and this very blissful energy coming up here. You know, of needing to make their children feel better. This can also be two people coming together in a childlike connection. Perhaps the twin flames, right? One has anxiety issues and the other one may have, you know, something else that's coming together here. And this energy of 5, which is today, and taking off the mask, letting go of attachments. The angel of balance, walking away and within. And finally, the 40 of the Page of Cups of the 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, and the purification, big time there with the Page of Cups of innocence and white and purity and power in that. The power in the little one of George is coming up again. And the thinking woman, the underlying energy. Okay, so we end up with the Page of Cups, like finding their power here. And that could be the baby of the family, even though they're all grown up. You know, it could be a child who's leaving the nest. All right, we made it without getting dumped. All right, I'm actually still energized. I can't believe I'm not exhausted. I mean, I'm probably going to feel it after I stop. But remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature, following your own intuition. And just go with the flow. Allow it to flow. 2, 2, 2, 2 right there. Rise and be loved, guys. I'll see you soon.